Alright, here we go. I'm below the camera here. We've never done a stream like this before, so it's probably gonna go absolutely horribly. So bear with me. But if you're looking for something to help you fall asleep, then this is probably the stream for you. It's just gonna be a comfy boxing thing. I gotta take this shelf of games, put them in a box. Hopefully I've been on screen the whole time. Hopefully you can hear me. Somehow I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the chat while I do all this. But good evening, everyone. Welcome to the most unconventional stream you'll ever see. I see Miles Luigi, we got Brady, we got Chica Mite, welcome! Again, hopefully it all looks good, you can hear me. Yeah, we got games on the shelf here, over 700 of them, and we gotta pack each one into this box. It's probably gonna take multiple boxes. We're probably gonna talk about some of the games as I do it, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And we can chat about whatever. Hello, Big Phil. Welcome back. Thank you. So, I made like YouTube posts about it. I've talked about it in various streams and videos and such. But it's true. I'm moving and we're going to another house. And so naturally, everything's got to go with it. And yeah, I thought it'd be nice to kind of share a part of that with you all. Hopefully we can do that as part of this stream today. And again, it's probably going to be really awkward. I'm going to be like, the game sack, YouTube stereotype where my back's to you like half the time as I take games off the shelf. Please, again, we're gonna do our best here. Hello, all good audio and video. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna give an introduction to every single game. I know people like the ratings and such. So if I'm getting to a game on the shelf and you want to hear what I think about it, feel free to ask. But otherwise, all right, here we go. We're just gonna grab like a good hefty bunch of games. Put them in the box, and there you go. It's like 4 out of 700 plus. So when it comes to NES games, there's some that I have like only in the box. Obviously, I've included like the unlicensed and all that on here, so it's not like just the licensed set. That's what takes it over 700, because there's less than 700 licensed North American NES games, but I always kind of mix them together. And of course, we've been playing some of the unlicensed ones on streams as well. So this is the real life Tetris, but you max out, you go out into another box instead of getting, that's exactly it, Luigi, yes. Yes, we're clearing boxes instead of lines here today. But yeah, again, up here in the corner. So one nice thing about my NES collection is that every single game has a black sleeve on it. Obviously you get some with like out the Nintendo logo, you get some that do have the Nintendo logo on it, so they're all gonna kind of stack and pack together like super nicely in here. And back in the day, those black sleeves were like everywhere. I was in the store recently, and we have the a folder I've compiled of some of my favorite NES tracks, just kind of on random. So hopefully it pulls up some good ones. If you have any questions about that, just ask. But yeah, sleeves used to be everywhere. No one gave it a second thought. I was in the store recently, and somebody was buying some Super Nintendo dust covers, and they're weird. Super Nintendo dust covers, I've never been a big fan, because you kind of put them on the bottom of the cart, and you get like this mushroom kind of ballooning out the bottom, and it just makes it already difficult to kind of organize and put on a shelf cartridge, even kind of more awkward. And they were selling like 6 of them for like $25. Is that really what they're worth these days? Where back in the day, you'd even at thrift stores find NES carts still with the sleeves on them. Or what I'd do if I was at like a game store and I was buying an NES game, I would just be like, can you throw in a sleeve with that? And usually back then they'd sell them for like 10 cents, if that. So they'd say, yeah, sure, why not? And that's how I managed to actually get like a black sleeve for every single game, because they were everywhere and like pennies back then. But now apparently people charge crazy amounts for them. I don't get it. How about plastic NES cases? So mad you got rid of yours. Yeah, so like the clamshell ones. Yeah, I have some of those. Obviously that really kind of expands the space that you need to store them all on the shelf. But if you don't have 700 of them, it's kind of a nice way to have them for sure. Hello, Daniel. You got your Lego. Nice. Very, very nice. We got some Bucky O'Hare music going on right now. Bucky O'Hare, excellent Konami game. Definitely kind of their answer to the Mega Man series there. But let's grab some more. Hopefully if there's anything cool, I remember to point to that when we get to it. Alright, working our way along. So one thing I've also done here is I also include PAL games on the shelf as well. But this looks so bad on the shelf. It's a PAL version of Adventure Island 2. I don't know, just someone had a real field day with that. They didn't like the game, I guess, so they went out and played Frisbee with it, maybe. And obviously, you know, there's some PAL games which are kind of cool to have. Like, I have 2 copies of Dragon's Lair here, because one is the PAL one, which had some improvements over the version that we got. But of course, it also has that increased speed, even when you're just playing it on like a normal NES. I made a whole video about the whole kind of PAL conversion frame rate thing. But alright, we're already done one row. Remember that from one end to the other is 104 games. So we're going to see just how many we can kind of fit into a single box. Obviously don't really want to overload it, but at the same time I'm taking this right to where it needs to be tomorrow. So it's not like some, you know, mover guy is going to throw it around or something. I'll be taking good care. So the weight shouldn't be too much of an issue. Plastic cases and transparency. Yeah. So there's those as well. I don't think I have any easily grabbable at the moment. CIB Famicom Bucky O'Hare. Nice. You bought many years ago. Oh, because you went for like the Japanese one instead of the US one. Yeah, I totally get that angle too. Yeah, it's one of the more expensive NES games now for sure. But I'm sure the Japanese one's also really cool to have. Alright, so actually one thing we're getting to right off the bat here. And this is going to be a common theme throughout the night. Because one cool thing about doing all this is that when I put them back up onto a shelf, and it's, by the way, not going to be these same metal shelves. I did talk recently a little bit in somewhere about how these were actually metal shelves originally from a video rental store back in the day, where, you know, they kind of, you know, put the videos on here, you VHSs, DVDs, maybe even, you could see what it was, but I repurposed them as NES shelves, or, you know, SNES over there, which has already been packed. You know, when that store closed down, as many video rental stores did, I got my hands on them, but they probably won't be what my games go back on at the new house. I'll probably get kind of, you know, more wooden shelves where things can be a little bit more organized on them. But basically, the point I was trying to make is that Lolo was very mean, and that's on the edge. Hopefully you can see that, kinda. It says Lolo, and not the Adventures of Lolo. So where do you put it? Where do you put it? It looks so bad with the end labels like that. But, I don't know, I've always kind of figured, you know, Adventures of Lolo, it's got to go with the A section, right? And there's a lot of other games like that, too. Like, there's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, which is another one, where it's like, it only says, no, sorry, not Tom Sawyer, The Adventures of Gilligan's Island, which is, like, right here. And, you know, should that be up with the A's? It's a whole mess. And that's the cool thing, again, what I was kind of trying to get to, is by, you know, taking them off and putting them onto a new shelf, I get to kind of rearrange some things, which is cool, if I wish to. Yeah, over 700, Daniel, here we go. But yeah, L, Daniel, right? L. But it says Adventure. You put it with the A, said Chikamite, right? It's tough. One thing I'm definitely doing, which I didn't do originally, and honestly, in terms of, you know, playing all of the NES games, I kind of don't mind that I did this, because it meant I didn't play all four of them in a row. But there's the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons games, where the list I used way back in the day to organize my collection and kind of, you know, keep track of what I had and not, didn't list them by the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons name. For some reason, just listed them by the subtitles. So, like, you know, Dragon Strike, Heroes of the Lance, etc. So when I ordered my shelf, that was where I kind of put them. Even though I think when I redo my shelf now, I'm going to put them all according to the letter A. But yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. Let's get back over to here, where, again, we're starting to take more games off. So we get, like, you know, a piece of wood, like, right here. Because I literally had just games sitting on top of games. So I would have to have, like, you know, a little something at the end of the shelf, so that the higher level didn't just slip right off the end. But there you go. Alright. Again, if I go on too many tangents, we will be here all night. I can't imagine this should be the longest job, but by saying that, we've probably just, you know, jinxed it and, you know, cursed us all here. We'll be here till 6 a.m. now, packing NES games. But okay, very good. A couple more off the top here. Again, just hope you've all been well. Sorry I haven't been streaming too much lately, but I appreciate all of your understanding. I hope you just kind of enjoy this, silly, comfy thing where we can just kind of relax and have some fun. But let's see, what is that? What is that? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 29. But I can move these a little bit. Okay. So it looks like we're gonna get 30 per row, and I can have like 3 rows before starting a new level. So that's pretty cool. So something like that. Yeah, there you go. So then you get 90. Probably stop at like a second level, so 180 per box. So we're gonna be over 3 boxes here. Uh-oh. But okay, let's keep going. Let's keep packing away some of those NES games, see what everyone's saying. Hello, Hack and Quack, and welcome. In which Andrew struggles with definite article treatment or organizing the A's with the yes, right? Like I never organize by the can get out of here, and can get, well, yeah, that's a good one, Miles Luigi, because I always struggled with like a boy in his block. And it's funny because yeah, I had it with the A's. I originally, this time I had it with the letter A. But yeah, it's one I've always struggled with. So yeah, organizing is not as simple as it seems for everyone with like digital game libraries, or you just load it up on a flash card and organizes it for you. You're lucky, you don't gotta struggle. May I Hack and Quack and welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Here you have Hot Wheels organize them. Yeah, no problem about the tangent. Yeah, organizing's fun. Like I have enjoyed packing the things I have so far. And just, thought I would share this again. This is kind of an experimental thing, so hopefully it's fun and exciting and entertaining. But, I haven't minded at all the packing so far. In fact, when I've done like, TurboGrafx or CDI, kind of more of the, the oddball systems, it's been fun. Like, oh, I haven't really thought about this game in like a decade. I'll have to play it, at the new house kind of thing. So I haven't really minded the packing at all, really. Now you have to ask if there's issues with organizing titles starting with the for the Japanese carts or not. No, because when you organize the Japanese games, and this is something I'm going to do, Famicom's already been packed as well. It will be by the Japanese syllabary, so like you won't have to worry about kind of some of the weird nuances that we have in English. So if it's like starts with a za, I guess that will just be under that. So it's not as complicated as ordering things in English, hilariously enough. Should you say it? Title of the stream, packing up every North American NES game, but that would have been a lie, Hack and Quacking. Of course, I have every North American NES game except for 4, which would be Little Samson, Flintstone Surprise at Dinosaur Peak, Panic Restaurant, and of course, Stadium Events. So, I could have fibbed a little in the title, but, in fact, in a way, 700 plus NES games is more impressive because every North American NES game would be less than 700. So people should be more impressed with the title that I used. We're just here to have fun. I'm not here to try and get 1 Gorgillion subscribers. Here we go. Packing up some stuff. That's the A's out of the way. Now we're on to the B's. Love the shirts back there, Hack and Quack, and thank you. Yeah, as I take like more games off, you're gonna see kind of more things revealed, hilariously enough. This is the GameCube games back here, which are gonna be, a whole ordeal to try and pack. I have most of those, except for like 20 of them. And of course, those are, skyrocketing in price these days. But yeah, that would be another job for sure. What else we got going on? Again, does anyone want me to share some hilarious tales? Here's Bad Street Brawler. I made a whole video about that. There's a lot of games I want to make kind of more dedicated, Nintedium videos about. Those are always a good time. But like, Back to the Future 2 and 3, for example, I didn't think it was too bad. It had its moments, and I can understand how people wouldn't necessarily like it, but I enjoyed it for what it was. The Bard's Tale, I think we just had the battle music for that playing. Right now we got Mr. X's Castle from Mega Man 6 going on. 1 million subscribbles, Daniel, yes. That's why you said, you said nearly every NES game hacking clacking. Interesting. You're amused. So B, says Daniel. Yep, so we're on to the B section now. Some Mario shirts don't, oh, no way. Yeah, that's the thing. Clothes suck because, they stop fitting, and it's like, what are you gonna do? But let's see what we got. Oh, we're in the baseball zone now. All like 40 baseball games. Baseball Simulator 1.000. It's so tempting to say Baseball Simulator 1000. No. Baseball Simulator 1.000. Baseball Stars 2. Bases Loaded 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, there's a lot of baseball on the NES. Again, it is the most common sport on the console. Next to golf, I believe. Golf being the second most. But there you go. Got 3 Batman games on the NES. It's a lot of Batman. So what do I got going on here? Let's see. Try and make it even with the other row. Alright, good then. So that's another 30 games. Again, people may remember that the NES has like 65 games that start with the letter B, a very popular letter. Never would think that there's that many games that, B would be that common of a letter, but it is. Eternity Bliss, hello! Hello! Eternal Bliss. Yeah, but, keep on going. Again, NES is such a fun console, and we have a lot of fun with it here, and collecting it's great, so wish you all the best on your collecting journey there. Big Phil, getting close to playoff season. Yeah, of course, Big Phil. The Astros were, like, sucking at the beginning of the year, and now look what you got. Then the Blue Jays, we sucked at the beginning of the year, and we suck even more at the end of the year, so there you go. From many years of Garage Sales Thrift Store. Nice Eternal Bliss, nice. Yeah, so most of this was from back in the day as well. A lot of thrifting. It's crazy just how much things have changed over the years here. Yeah, so definitely good luck in getting your hands on more of those. And don't forget about Famicom as well. Again, we had, talking about Famicom Bucky O'Hare earlier. Famicom is awesome, and it is unfortunately now also raising in price, so it's not even like I can recommend anymore to, go get Famicom now, because a lot of games that were like 100, 200 yen, 300 yen are now hitting like 1,000 yen, and all sorts of weird stuff's going on. The Japanese market, I definitely feels like it was about a decade behind us, but unfortunately all their prices are kind of exploding now too. But alright. Getting almost another row done here. Got a good old thing there. Big Phil. Yeah, good luck in the playoffs, Big Phil. There's so many B games and then so many S games. It's BS, says Hacky Quacken. Yes. Chicken Return of the Joker was another one you got for the Famicom version for. But it's because you love the Sunsoft clamshell cases for Japanese Famicom Mega Drive games. Famicom is so fun, and how cartridges can all kind of have their designs based on the different publishers, and yeah, there's definitely no consistency in like the boxes, or some games have the clamshell cases for sure. I agree with you on that end. Here's kind of like a paper towel that was being used to support the kind of gap in the middle here. Very creative. This took me years to come up with that. And here we go, just because one's not enough. We got the blue copy of Bible Adventures as well as the black copy. So I do have label variants on this shelf as well. Again, I talked about how there's some PAL games mixed in. Not too many PAL games, but there's a few. As well as a label variant here and there. So that's what we got. Oh, we got some title screen Silver Surfer music going on. Remember when we streamed that? And then, everyone says Silver Surfer is difficult. And then we just proceeded to spend like the next 3 weeks on Star Force. Good times. We're at the last row now before we start a new level, so it's a little tougher to get them to fit. But we're not, like, crushing them together. You'll save 1% buying Famicom soon. I mean, there's definitely, like, the odd Famicom game that's even more expensive in Japan than it was here. Abadox was one, which is a really cool shoot-'em-up. It's not too uncommon in North America. It got, like a Parker Brothers release. So it kind of, I guess, had some more, got some more ground in that regard. But in Japan, it's kind of a more rarer game. What's it called? Guerrilla War is another one that's more expensive in Japan. So it is funny, you will find Famicom games that are more expensive than our versions, but that's of course, going to vary. But most of the time, the Japanese versions are cheaper. It is true. Oh yeah, the one time I streamed Mario Party. We don't talk about Mario Party Superstars. Hello, YS Bunny on the Twitch side. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Hope you're having a good one. Pre-eBay days, nice. Yeah, and not very much of this at all came from eBay. It was pretty much all local finds, and I used to take trips to the US and such, so I hit up US game stores. But yeah, not too much internet buying. I would like to finish the collection, though. I mean, obviously Stadium Events is kind of like another story, but those other three, I'd love to kind of, try and at least get my hands on those. And, do you go to the internet for that? Do you try to hit up some local stores or conventions and such, and kind of find them there? We'll have to have a campaign. I stream every night until we reach a goal. And then we can, walk into the store and go buy them or something, make a video about that. It could be kind of silly. But alright, the Blue Marlin and Blues Brothers. Remember, we talked about Blues Brothers. Blue Marlin is actually a surprisingly awesome game. So check that one out if you haven't. Now, lots of Bucky O'Hare music. Just gotta fix one thing here. Again, getting kind of into the corner here, so gotta make sure everything is nice and snug. There you go. Looks like 3 more, I think. What's that? Oh wow, no, we're a few short here. That's weird. I guess me. Oh, okay, I see. I see what happened. Ah, yeah, that one was stopping them from kind of moving. So it seemed like there was no more room, but it was actually a trick. There should be room for one more now. Gotta keep things even. Let me just count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. We got Boulder Dash. as the last game on the bottom row of box number 1. Alright. Why is Bunny? Unfortunately, Stadium Events' Famicom version is getting scalped because of the is that true? Really? And in reality, it's not valuable at all. Yeah, there's yeah, the Famicom Power Pad stuff, the Family Fun Mat. They had a lot more games than we got. And yeah, they've never been rare, so to hear that, that's silly. Which doesn't even make any sense, because, you know, it's the same as world-class track meet. And that's what really makes Stadium Events difficult. You know, dishing out the money for it, it's because it's exactly the same, except for the title screen, as world-class track meet. So it doesn't even make any sense why people would go after the Japanese version, as if there wasn't also, like, another cheaper NES version of it. Who knows? Who knows? David Ray, welcome! You got Famicom copies of Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu, Bonk's Adventure. Yeah, Bonk's Adventure is still not expensive, you know, too expensive in Japan. And Moai-kun. Oh, Moai-kun's great. Yeah, Moai-kun is an awesome puzzle game, and it never got released in North America. Transformers were thrown in for Moai-kun and Transformers were thrown in for free. Mystery of Comboy, right? You know where Panic Restaurant is near you, Hack and Quack, and nice. That's a lot of games. Yeah, so far we're like 90 down, about 600 to go. You own the Panasian games. I do not. I do not own those ones. You know, we talked about, I have like all the Color Dreams games, the Wisdom Tree, the Codemasters, but not those ones, no. I've never even seen them. Because I'm up in this crazy place called Canada. They were probably more like down in the US sort of thing, so I just never really seen them up here at all. But okay, everyone. So with one layer of games down, we're gonna use some wrapping here, some bubble wrap. Not for, you know, popping the bubbles, but for kind of protecting the games underneath as we do another level. I spent all day pre-preparing this bubble wrap, knowing that I'd be using it tonight. OBS was giving me a heck of a time getting the webcam working and such. So I apologize that the stream is as late as it is, but hopefully you're enjoying it. We got Lone Ranger music playing right now. Lone Ranger, one of my favorite NES games. No Japanese release for that one, so you gotta go to the NES for it. Phenomenal game. From Konami, of course. Hack and Quacken, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good one. But okay, with that, again, 90 games down. I guess we're gonna go back to here. So, you know, there's your Bucky O'Hare. You know, as we've been talking a lot about, because the music seems to keep coming up. And see, this is a case of, like, you know, there's no Bubble Bobble 2 here, because that one is in the box, so it's not on the shelf. But let's see, how do I want to start us off here? Something like that. But yeah, the Famicom's a lot of fun. Definitely look into Famicom exclusives, because for a long time I did not realize just how many awesome Famicom exclusives there were. But it's crazy. The Famicom library is like 1,051 games, and like easily over half of them are exclusive. And there's some really good stuff there. Oh, here we have Flying Warriors. Released in Japan as the Hiryu no Ken series. There was 3 of them. And we got the first one as Flying Dragon, and the second one is Flying Warriors. But they're kind of different, especially, you know, Flying Warriors is kind of like a mishmash of Hiryu no Ken 2 and 3, but they're kind of also their own individual experiences. So if you like Flying Warriors, definitely check out that series on the Famicom. They're not tough games to come by. The Wizardry games are too nostalgic for me. Yes, the unlicensed collection you'd like. They just want the King James Bible for Game Boy. You've never seen that one. That's like literally just reading the Bible on your Game Boy, right? Lots of really good stuff and some really bad stuff on the Famicom. No, fair enough. You know, there's no perfect library out there. Mystery of Convoy is certainly an interesting game with rather harsh difficulty. Yeah, Yeah, definitely, it's notorious for that. You've always thought Sonic 1 aged badly by others, but you finally beat it for yourself and you can finally say, honestly, it's way better. Yeah, I don't have anything against Sonic 1. I think it's just Sonic 2 and 3 and Knuckles are, like, so good that just people find it hard to go back to Sonic 1. And obviously you get some points, like, you know, Labyrinth Zone can kind of be a bottleneck for people, but no, Sonic 1's fine. Kind of short, especially when you compare it to, like, Sonic 2. But alright, what are we doing here? Almost done the top. We're getting there. Again, I apologize for, like, the majority of this is, like, my back to you. I don't like that, but I guess I gotta do what I gotta do. I guess I could do like this until I drop it. We got Castlevania now. Of course, Castlevania 3 being one of those, you know, the Japanese soundtrack is awesome. But the Japanese version's actually easier. Konami was one of those companies where they were making their games more difficult for the North American market. Where it's interesting that a lot of the times you'll find the Japanese versions were easier. There you go. Of course, the biggest, you know, most notorious example of that's probably Bayou Billy. And I tell the story many times about when I was, you know, coming up with my idea of going through all the NES games. Bayou Billy was one I got to on the shelf naturally right at the beginning, because I had it under Adventures of Bayou Billy. So it was only like the 10th game or something. And I had many years prior put it in, you know, read the back of the box, and it sounds like an awesome game. So I put it into the NES. You know, played it and had my butt handed to me in about a minute. So when I decided I was going to beat all the NES games, it was the one I got to on the shelf. I'm like, okay, we're going to try this again. And if I can beat this game, I can beat any of them. And then, you know, after a little bit of practice, I got it. And that gave me the motivation to keep on going. And then eventually you get to, like, Star Force. And we spend way too long on it. But, you know, that's kind of where, you know, that determination comes from. Because I saw with Bayou Billy that it's possible. Possible that those games that one day completely wreck you, you can practice and beat. Just might take a bit. But alright. There you go. Last game on the top. Clash of Demon Head was a lot of fun. Chubby Churub. It's not the best one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 30, so actually we're only doing 3 here. This is Stone Man for Mega Man 5, I believe. Okay, there you go. The top is completely done. Completely done. Only a little bit more to go. I don't think it's one of the best Famicom exclusives. Plays like Mega Man. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I know that one. I'll have to look more into it. How much space do we have? Hello, Dino Fury. More. Slightly more. So it should hopefully be good for getting all these guys organized nicely, and we'll see what else we can, you know, do to make things look good. And the fact you can see exactly where the Legend of Zelda is. So one thing I used to be notorious for, and I'm kind of debating if I'm going to switch this. You know, maybe I've grown out of it. Maybe I've moved on. I always used to put the Zelda games with Z, because just why not, right? But maybe I don't know. I'm kind of feeling maybe, you know, L, maybe L from now on. I don't know. It's like the Zelda on the end is so big. That's like, you know, that's a game that starts with Z, right? But no. So I think probably when I redo the shelf, they'll become L games. I think I've kind of moved on from that. But yeah, all the consoles, like GameCube, all of them, I always used to put Zelda at the end. It's kind of funny. All right. Let's just move this guy's out of the way. Okay, so where were we? We were over here. Got a cliffhanger and Clue Land. But thanks everyone for stopping by tonight. Happy you're all having fun with this kind of just silly stream idea. Again, because, you know, NES is such a big part of my channel, I definitely wanted to share this with you all, and happy to see people are enjoying it. Hi, Tuxedo Earth! Rainock! Wow, everyone's stopping by. I hope you're all having great evenings. I posted a message on my most recent community about full Mario game in Mario Maker 2. David Ray. I definitely want to play some more Mario World ROM hacks. Get back into the groove of what we were doing there. And that hopefully will come in a bit, once the move is done. But I don't know how much more I want to go back to Mario Maker 2. I think we've had our fill, but we'll see. We'll see. You can also easily spot the unlicensed cards. Yeah, I like that too. I like that you can kind of see them mixed in there. What do you think? Do you think it's cool the unlicensed carts mixed in with the licensed ones, or if you were organizing it, would you kind of put them all separately? How would you feel about that? Gonna require maybe 15 boxes? No, it looks like we're probably gonna get 180 per box, so we should be just over 3 at that rate. Closer to 4. We're using OBS, David Ray, for the live streaming right now. See a big box point blank on the shelf. Nice! You got all 3 of them. Yeah, so you can see some other kind of random odds and ends over here. Zelda, promotional standee, point blank, yep. Got some PlayStation stuff here. Again, you'll gradually probably be able to see like a few more things as we take more of the games off, but yeah. Alright, let's put a few more away. Like here's a horrible one. Where when you look at the end label, hopefully these show up okay. I'm trying to make sure. Like it looks like it just kind of says Viper on the end, but the game's name is actually Codename Viper, so it's one of those ones that almost looks like it's in the wrong spot when it's actually in the right spot, and that's always a pain, but it is what it is. You got some winners right here. Color a Dinosaur and Conan. Commando sandwich between the 2 of them. Conquest of the Crystal Palace. Now here, this is unacceptable. I should go back and kick myself for this one. So I think it was 2020. No, I think 2019 made a video of the last time I had to take down this whole shelf, add some new games in, and then reorganize it. And the reason for that is, again, because of the way that the games are stacked on top of each other, you can't just kind of move them out of the way and add a new one in when you have the opportunity. Like it requires pretty much everything coming down and then putting the games in order and then putting them all back up. And I think 2019 was the last time I did it. I don't know how I put Super C after Contra. That's not right. Super C's got to go down with the rest of the Super games. But it's just one of those cases where you want to put the sequels together, but alphabetically it doesn't work. And there's a lot of games on the NES like that where the sequels aren't titled anything like the original. Fire and Ice and Solomon's Key. Golgo 13 and the Moffat Conspiracy, so you got a lot of kind of weird ones like that. The good thing though is that for most of them, Fire and Ice being like the only exception really so far, most of the games that have different titles like that, the one that comes first in the series will come alphabetically first before the later ones. Like I said, Golgo 13, Moffat Conspiracy, Flying Dragon, Flying Warriors, and that was a really good coincidence because I had no idea those 2 games were related. I'll show them to you when we get to them. And you won't know they're related either based on the cover art, but yeah, it's interesting. Kind of little things like that are always fun. Hi House 414. Just bought in PSU tonight. Hopefully your first regular Nintendo works. Power supply, nice. Fingers crossed. Don't plug that Famicom power supply. All right, it's the other way. Don't plug your NES power supply into your Famicom. But yeah, hopefully you'll have fun with that. Definitely vote for Mario Mondays and a Mario Party 3 night. Yeah, I really need to play some retro Mario Party again. None of that new stuff. I have PTSD still. Oh, Tuxedo Worth, Mario RPG, nice. YouTube recently recommended me a series of recreating Mario World. In Godot, by the way. Huh. You'd separate the Nintendo exclusives from non-exclusives. That's cool. OBS Studios, yes. Alphabet by title. What do we got going on here? $5 NES would be great for... Yeah, that'd be a great deal, absolutely. Hey, Nintendo iconic speedrun game, color a dinosaur. Does Zelda count? Does Zelda count for what, YS Bunny? Random question, but would you put a Mount Rushmore of Zelda games? You always thought 2 N64 games, Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild. It's got you thinking about Wind Waker and Link to the Past. Yeah, Wind Waker for me. Wind Waker is the top for sure. Ocarina of Time. You can't forget the Oracle games. Those are fantastic. Really, really great. You gotta play them both and exchange those passwords for sure. Oh, everyone, look! Contra Force, everybody's favorite. Great soundtrack. Okay game. Oh, a Japanese, sorry, not Japanese, a PAL exclusive-ish. Crackout! Called the, like, Mysterious Wall. Nazo no Kabe in Japan, something like that, on the disc system, actually. But, so yeah, Konami was a really mean company, in that they released way more NES games in, like, Europe than we got. I don't know why they got so many more games. Oh, listen to this! Max Howard would love this song if he was here. Can't say I didn't, you know, put any Kirby music in there. Again, hopefully you can all hear the NES music. I painstakingly, you know, curated this folder with all the classics. Kirby from the ending. Retro Mickey, yeah! So, yeah, moving. So, getting all this off the shelf into the boxes. Doom Mastermind 1985! Why are we packing up our NES games? Yeah, so that's what's going on here, is, in less than a month, gotta be out of here into a new place. Taking all the games and such, and, you know, as many of the shelves as I can, and setting them all up there, and we'll see what we can do. I don't think the video rental shelves are coming again. I'm eyeing some other shelves that will hopefully be good for holding video games, but... So obviously it's not going to be the same. It's definitely not going to be like the exact same setup happening in the new house. It's going to be different, but I'm kind of excited for it different, because right now, you know, there's kind of been some weird corners and stuff where it's hard to see, you know, the games, but I'm hoping to kind of make like a much nicer kind of display of the games, and there's, you know, keep things cool like that. Bigger room, Retro Mickey. So it's a tough call, because there's going to be like more rooms. It's just going to be the entire basement essentially. It's going to be all video games, but there's not going to be like one massive room of all the video games. They're going to kind of be, you know, in different places probably. Not a Nintendo fan, but everyone needs a selection of Nintendo consoles. Yeah, for sure. Hope you enjoy the NES. NES is great. Off-tune NES version of Green's bias, buddy. Here's a question: do you have any siblings, and have they ever messed up the way you organize your games? No. So I'm lucky that like everyone loves video games. I have a family that just loves video games and, you know, play them themselves. So no, they've never really caused me any trouble video game wise, thankfully. But okay, let's get a few more in here. We got Dance Aerobics and Darkman, Darkwing Duck, Daydreamin' Davy, Deadly Towers, which I'm like the only person who will defend this game. I enjoyed Deadly Towers. It took like 2 hours to make any progress, but once I did, it was actually kind of fun. But again, everyone, thank you for watching. This is great. You could seriously have one of the most impressive game rooms with a big enough space. You actually love to play the game, so no one's gonna be all snotty about it with the shelfers. So, yeah, thank you. Entire collection back together is gonna be fun. So as I've mentioned, you know, even just taking it apart, I've really enjoyed, you know, just having a look at games I maybe haven't thought about too much in, you know, a long time. But yeah, even putting them all back, I've always enjoyed organizing. It's one thing I've never minded. I mean, that's how this room came to be, right? It was me just looking at my games and being like, all right, where are these gonna go? And, you know, that's kind of how you have what you have here today. And I've never complained, not once. Just, I've always had fun with it. But yeah. Oh, it sounds like we got some level 7 of Battletoads going on there. It's very quiet. Now, unfortunately, you know, sometimes you download the music and it's like the volume is super low compared to other tracks for some reason. But I think I made a 50-minute video about Battletoads, so. About everybody likes to point to the turbo tunnel as being like the most difficult thing ever. And it's only level 3. There's a lot more Battletoads than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright, 30 more to go before we're done with this box. 29 more to go. You can see. Let me see. Afflicted! Welcome, Afflicted! Yes! Thank you so much, Afflicted. I really appreciate that. Yeah! Sorry I haven't been playing too many NES games recently. I haven't beat any since what you've seen. We beat Star Tropics, like right before August, and then I think before that the last things I beat on stream were like Starship Hector and Strider. So it's not like I've been beating a whole bunch without you. That's kind of really where we're at. Actually, I think I might have beat Twin Bee and Stinger on my own. There was not too much to see there, but yeah. Oh, and Stealth I did as well. But like I want to stream Street Fighter 2010, Star Wars. What else was coming up? Super Pitfall's coming up. So if you want to see me stream those, stay tuned. We're gonna have a lot of fun. But okay, let's see. Destiny of an Emperor, fun Capcom RPG that takes place in ancient China. Not too many people talk about that one. What else we got? Die Hard, classic. Dig Dug 2, because in North America we never got Dig Dug 1, which is the more iconic one. Dig Dug 2 is fine, but I think if you want Dig Dug, you probably want the first one. Digger T-Rock is like Wario Land 4, and that each level has a switch that you press and you gotta run to the door before time runs out. Not a bad game, not too bad. You'll be here once you get settled and start streaming again. Thank you, Afflicted. I really appreciate that. Hope you've been well. No, I've seen you a little bit around other Twitch streams, which is always good. Oh, we got some Battletoads Double Dragon. Great beat 'em up. Probably my favorite beat 'em up that I've played on the NES so far. Street Fighter 2020, good game, pretty hard though. Yeah, that's what they say, right? So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. You know, we've played other ones that like, you know, the AVGN made a big deal about and such. And, you know, they weren't that bad. Like, you know, what did I just grab? You know, Dick Tracy wasn't that bad. Or like Silver Surfer, which we've already talked about. So there's a few of these mixed in as well. Like, what's it called? The Aladdin carts. I have the complete set boxed, but you know, it's extra carts I kind of threw in there as well, because why not? What else we got? Oh, we got the Donkey Kong collection. What we got going on here? We got Donkey Kong Original, 3, Junior, and Math, of course. In Japan, there's a lot more educational games. There's Popeye's English, and then there's like a whole series of math games for like grades 1 through 6. So you can really get your math fill on the Famicom, if that's what you're after. So many of the best AVGN episodes are of good games like Ghosts and Goblins. Yeah, right? Like, it's definitely, you know, for entertainment value. You can't always take everything he says too seriously. Hello, Azul. Yep, we are moving. It's really weird that Dig Dug never released on the NES outside Japan. So weird, in fact, they actually released the Famicom version on the Virtual Console as an import. So what happened was, of course, the Famicom released in 1983, and then third-party kind of, where can we put this? Third-party, you know, really kind of started coming out for the Famicom 1984. So by the time third-party games started coming out for the NES, like 1986-ish, that's like a whole 3 years that companies have had to release more games in Japan. And because of Nintendo's third-party release limit, you know, companies kind of had to choose what they were going to put out on the NES, and then a lot of the earlier third-party Famicom games kind of got left behind while they released more of the, you know, the more recent at that time third-party games within that quota. And that's why we don't get things like Galaxian or Dig Dug, you know, because they were those earlier Famicom games that, you know, the companies kind of just left there. But all right, let's see what else we got. Donkey Kong Classics. Of course, there is an official Nintendo version of the 8-bit Donkey Kong that has the Pie Factory level. Disappointing that when they did Donkey Kong Classics, they didn't go back and add that in. Oh, I think we got Mission Impossible Level 1 music now. We beat Mission Impossible on stream. That was fun. Okay, what have we got? So we need 8 more games. Oh! Perfect timing for this one. So, so this is Bram Stoker's Dracula, and a very good example of one I should have listed under B back in the day, but listed under D for whatever reason, because it's really tough. Like, I have Fighting Golf. Where is it here? Fighting Golf under F. And you know, you look at the end label. Hopefully you can see these. Apologize if you can't. But yeah, you know, Fighting Golf, it's all it says on the end there. So of course you would label it under F. But you look at it, and it's actually Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf. So it's like, what? Well, I'm not going to put that under L. That looks so wrong. So this one, you know, kind of ended up under F. So that's another kind of quirk that you get when it comes to, you know, alphabetizing your games. You include people's names in there, and then sometimes they'll put the name on the end, and then sometimes they won't. You know, the things that keep me up at night. But the funny thing about Bram Stoker's Dracula is that this, I guess, was Dylan's 107th NES game. Like Dylan number 107. Like maybe he lived at house number 107. But if he had 107 NES games back in the day, you know, that's a kid that you want to be friends with. Hope you're all having fun. This is silly. Supposedly the Sonic 3 trailer will be Tuesday. Oh, Sonic 3 movie? Cool. Very cool. Maybe he's the 107th Dylan. I like that YS Bunny. But I'm doing well, Azul. Thank you. Hope you've been well as well. You like that the SNES had mostly consistent label designs, YS Bunny. I like the varied label designs of NES games. The SNES, I guess, could kind of be more compared to the Switch, where it's all just red with white text, where the SNES is like black with like the green text. I personally enjoy the variety. Another comparison that can be made is like PAL PS2 games are all just white background with black text, where you get some really nice labels on like the North American ones. Yeah, so I like the variety. And I like Famicom as well, where like everything's a different color. Some games have end labels, some don't. I like the variety though on the shelf. I think it's nicer when it's like different colors and such instead of all just being solid, but everyone's gonna have their different opinion of that for sure. But here's Dr. Chaos. Going into the bin. Hey, we got Star Tropics 2 music. You should remember that one from a few nights ago. You know, I say a few nights ago, it's been like a month already. And I was thinking about, you know, like Sky Kid. I was, you know, watching my victory run of Sky Kid recently. Just the end of it, because I thought that was kind of funny. The whole dropping the bomb on the UFO thing. If you haven't seen that one, it's really ridiculous. And I couldn't believe that was like 4 months ago already. The year's just been flying by. I hope you've all been doing well. Hey, it's Dragon Power! Dragon Ball in Japan, the original Dragon Ball game, in France it was actually released as Dragon Ball on the NES, but everywhere else, you know, Bandai was really weird. Bandai's NES games, they have some really weird, you know, licensed stuff, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde's another one. You know, this is another one here that they changed to Dragon Power overseas. Just like how Chubby Chura was also like another series in Japan. Let me see here. What if the Nintendo Museum is actually your game collection, Raynok? Hey, that'd be cool. Sounds like I have an NES music playlist going on. Yes! I compiled like some of my favorite NES tracks, and it's just going through them all. Well, so hopefully, you know, there's enough for it to last until we're done here. I think it had like 150-ish tracks in it. All from games that I've beat, so you know, you might see some familiar ones if you've watched my streams. Both variety and color of NES boxes and the uniform neatness. Yeah, Chica might. Why not, right? Why not both? Remember when Bottles messed up my game save? I'm still missing like 11 notes in Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I swear if they glitched out of existence as well. I don't have good luck when it comes to notes, I guess. But again, here is you know, the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons game that when I reassemble my shelf, like I said, I'll probably put them all together at the top. Okay, this box, this might do it. And of course the Dragon Warrior games, fantastic games. Especially the third one, but you gotta play 1, 2, and 3. And they're getting those remakes, which is really nice. I have to check those out. Bubble wrap here. It's funny though how the you know, like it keeps picking songs from like the same game. Like we had like how many Bucky O'Hare songs, and now this is another Mission Impossible one. Obviously, you know, the music player really likes Konami, I guess. Lots of Konami music. We had Lone Ranger earlier. I swear I included games that weren't just Konami too. Almost got it in there. Look. Alright, Dragon Warrior 2 is where we're going to be ending off for this box. There you go, everyone! 180 games in one box. Now the question is, can I lift it? Can I even lift it? Oh, it's not that heavy. It's not actually that heavy. There you go. So you can tell I'm Canadian because you got French on one side. It's a medium box. But what's it called in French? Mayonnaise or something? Now you know. Bubble wrap in there. And it's time to get the other box. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna look at the chat here. Oh, Raynok? Which one is that? As I was talking about the Sky Kid messing up the final battle there, but you might also be talking about the notes and how they glitched. Yeah, that was very silly. I'll give you that. Very, very silly. But it's always nice when, you know, something silly happens in a game like that. But at least if people enjoy it and have some fun, kind of makes it worth it. All right, let's get some more bubble wrap in here. Line the bottom. For when I inevitably drop the box. Hopefully not. everybody knows where this music's from. That was such a fun stream, I'm glad. Oh, the Banjo-Kazooie one, yes. Azul. Oh! Well, happy birthday to... Yeah, happy birthday to Azula. Wish them all the best for me. So here you go. Dragon Warrior 3, Dragon Warrior 4 is what we're starting the box off with. And also, we got 2 different versions of Dragon's Lair with like the title slightly bigger in the PAL version. But yeah, 2 different versions of Dragon's Lair there. Beat Dragon's Lair on stream. One of the earlier games that I beat on YouTube. You know, Castle Quest was another fun one, but you know, Dragon's Lair was good. You got Duck Hunt and DuckTales. DuckTales 2. Very careful with that one. Dudes with Attitude. Dungeon Magic. I like Dungeon Magic. Dungeon Magic was a fun game. Not enough people know about Dungeon Magic. Dusty Diamond's All-Star Softball, I believe, is Softball Tengoku in Japan. Softball Heaven. And all of the characters are animals, which is kind of neat. But they changed them to people. Much less interesting in our version. And if you ever want to play softball as an animal, that's a game for you to check out. Oh, elevator action. That's one we'll be talking about someday for sure. The Eliminator, where they spelled it wrong on the end label. Classic. Not many games that start with E on the NES, and in fact, this is one I disagree with right here. I had Empire Strikes Back, because that's all it's called on the end label. It says The Empire Strikes Back, but of course it's Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. So I actually haven't beat this one. I've been waiting until after I beat the original Star Wars, and then I'm going to play this one, so technically, even though it was kind of here, it's not one that I've beaten yet. But again, that will be fixed when I put all the games back on the shelf. And then you get Excite Bike and Exodus, which is like the sequel to Crystal Mines, and honestly, not the worst games despite the fact that the theming is kind of weird. Hello, Ma KCC. Hope you're having a great night. You started to... yeah, you were telling me about that, Azul. Having a blast with that. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. NES games are awesome. So many good ones. Have you ever heard of the game Mario and Sonic at the Olympics? Yes! Yes. Those started back in, like... what was it? 2008, right? And there's been like one every 2 years since, although I don't know if they've done one for the last couple of Olympics. Maybe Brazil 2016 was the last one. So they had like a good decade of Mario and Sonic battling it out at the Olympics. But alright, we gotta get moving with the with the pack in here, or we'll be here for a while. Here's an interesting thing. So as I've mentioned, you know, all my NES games have, you know, a dust cover on them. But here's a case right here. This one has a Funko Land dust sleeve on it. Bring home the fun. From an old defunct video game store. Got some Contra music playing right now. Faria is great. Faria has like a what's it called? Like a Final Fantasy mixed with like Game Boy Zelda vibe. Definitely check out Faria. It's a cool one. Now here's another example of like, it's called Fast Break, but the end label says Magic Johnson's Fast Break. So it's like, what do you do, right? So I had it with the F's, but maybe that wasn't a good move. I mean, it should probably be with the M's because it says it on the end. So that's probably what I'll do when I reorder them in the future. The series is dead. They decided they don't want to do Mario and Sonic at the Olympics anymore. Sad. Shelf looks like an old GameStop shelf when they sold NES games. So, I miss when GameStop had, you know, used NES games in store. Well, a lot of good used NES and Super NES games at GameStop back in the day. And then they just stopped. Yeah, used games used to be great. Their pre-played stuff. Oh, we got Fester's Quest trying to jump off the shelf. Wonderful. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's a song everyone should know. Yeah, Fester's Quest. Sunsoft just has such an issue with designing good weapons, I find. Like, any weapon that has like a wave pattern, but when it touches the wall it disappears, that's not a good weapon, Sunsoft. And there'll usually be like an upgraded version, where eventually it will go through the wall, but like one hit and you lose it, like, I don't know. But that's what hurts, like Fester's Quest and, even like, Blaster Master, but just the weapon selection's never that good. Well, there's always some catch where it's like, if you get hit once, you lose your good weapon. One second. Just gotta get these a little more sorted. Fester's Quest doesn't want to go in the box. We're gonna get this figured out. There you go. All nicely in there. One sec. Alright, that's another 30 put away, taking us up to a total of 210. We're not even a third of the way there. Head off to bed, Azul. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. Let me see here. I think they're going to make more of the Mario Sonic Realistic games anymore. Yeah, weird, right? You would have no sort order discussion. So glad you're enjoying it, Miles Luigi. Yeah, it's just here we are with Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf. It's just, there's a lot of oddities when it comes to organizing the games, for sure. Final Fantasy Firehawk. There's Fire and Ice, like I was talking about. Although Tecmo puts their name on top, so should you order it by that? No, probably not. I didn't show it earlier, but Bases Loaded was a weird one. They don't even put the Bases Loaded name on the end. They just put the company's Jaleco's name. And it's like, why? Why Jaleco? Thankfully, they got it right for Bases Loaded 2, 3, and 4 at least. So one thing I did one time was I didn't have the Fisher-Price games ordered with Fisher-Price. I did it by, Perfect Fit. I can remember. But I think it makes more sense to order them all together on the shelf. Hey, Star Tropics 2 again! Like, I swear I put a lot of different games in this folder, and yet it keeps pulling from the same ones. Here's the classic. So there's the one Flintstones game. No Surprise at Dinosaur Peak. But yeah, you would never expect that flying dragon. And then, flying warriors, which you can't really see because it's in the plastic case. I'm not going to try taking it out right now, so I'll drop it, but it's like, has like a superhero theming. They really localized it to where, everyone's like a superhero in it for some reason. That's not how the original Japanese ones were. Oh, here's a terrible one. Built to Win, it says on the end. Hopefully you can see that. But it's actually called Formula 1 Built to Win. So they did kind of a weird, label thing with that. I've considered putting it under Built to Win because it just looks better, but a great racing game though, very, very good. Instead of focusing on like super long races like some games do, you know, like 8 laps or something like that, so that you can have a really good race for the first 7.5 laps and then mess up at like the very end and have to redo the whole thing. Built to Win emphasizes 2-lap races, where each time you win you get money, which you buy for new parts for your car, and you can use to win other races, until eventually you beat all of that and you do get like I don't know if it was like 8 or 16 long, you know, campaign, but I think they were still all 2 laps, so it's nice. You know, I find the shorter races are nicer because at least it means if you screw up, you're not replaying like a massive race again. Like some racing games do, but we'll talk about another one soon. There is a racing game I really liked that is kind of in that style. Funko Land is where you got your PS1 for $20 in 2004. Nice. And on top of what you missed when sports games were more arcade-like. That's cool, Raynok. Yeah, sports games, they are definitely kind of... Like, I haven't played too many sports games aside from like the ones I beat on the NES, and I've enjoyed those, but I agree. You know, sports games need to have a little bit more flavor to them. But yeah, Diego, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a great night. But I like when sports games, you know, have like a... I don't have the right words for it, as you can probably tell. I'm losing my voice. We've only done 3 rows. And what do we got here? We got Galactic Attack. Oh, sorry, Galactic Crusader. That's kind of a funky, you know, unlicensed game there. Oh, we get Galaxy 5000. I always kind of call this the F-Zero of the NES, even though it's, you know, not really the same style of game, but it is kind of combat space racing. So it has that kind of F-Zero vibe to it. Gargoyles Quest 2, up there with Kirby as one of the, you know, kind of outliers of a series that started on the Game Boy, where you get Gargoyles Quest 1, and then the sequel here, just like Kirby's Dream Land and Kirby's Adventure. And then there was Demon's Crest on the SNES, which I need to play to kind of round out that series. Gauntlet 1 and Gauntlet 2. And here's a weird case where you get the licensed gray cart of Gauntlet, and then the unlicensed black Tengen cart of Gauntlet. So we got both of those on the shelf, even including the black Tengen case to go along with it. Ghostline is an interesting RPG where instead of leveling up through battles, you level up through items that you find on the overworld. So it almost has like a, you know, sticker star vibe to it in that sense, where like you don't really get anything from the battles in that sense, but it all kind of comes from you know, the health power-ups and stuff that you find on the overworld map. G.I. Joe was good. Ghoul School kind of has a Metroidvania vibe to it. What else we got? Oh, here's that, you know, the adventures of Gilligan's Island. But it only says Gilligan's Island on the end. No. We're at the end of another row, so whenever we get to that point, again, you gotta make sure it all fits nice and snug. There, that should do the trick. Again, love the kind of dust sleeves that are making everything nice and uniform. NBA Jam, nice. NHL Blitz. Yeah, there's a lot of good sports games out there. Gauntlet's an NES game you regret selling. Yeah, the Gauntlet 1's a lot of fun. Gauntlet 2, not so much. Mindscape got their hands on it, which is never a good sign. But no, Gauntlet 1's a lot of fun. Hopefully you can get your hands back on that one. Alright. Another row here of games. Just give me a second here. Goal 2, not happy about being packed away, it would seem. What is causing the issue here? Whew, so, I've talked about this in other streams. The air conditioning is broken. So even though I'm in a basement, it's hot down here. So this is a good workout. Yeah, I'm just having a little bit of trouble with this one corner. Being stubborn. Oh, this is a great song! I made a short about this one. There we go. This should work. Okay. Alright. Got that all sorted out. We got golf. Golf was like a random stream that I did, and it became very popular. It's out of nowhere. I was just like 3 in the morning playing golf, and a whole bunch of people stopped by to watch it, which was really funny. NBA Jam complete. There's golf for you. Golf Grand Slam. Bondi Golf Challenge Pebble Beach. So this is an interesting one, where I initially, I don't know why, I ordered it under G, when it's clearly called, Bondi Golf. So when I got to the section 4B, when playing all the NES games, I actually played this one because it makes more sense being called, Bondi Golf Challenge Pebble Beach. So this was actually the first golf game that I played through, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Kind of got me into the groove for the future golf games to come. And of course there's Golgo 13, Goonies 2, fantastic. No Goonies 1 on the NES though. Gotcha, Gradius. We played the Great Waldo Search along with the original on stream. Gremlins 2, Guardian Legend, excellent game. What was that Ninja Golf game that James and Mike played on the Atari 7800? So how about the Atari 7800 Plus? I have my eye on that. I was thinking about the 2600 Plus, but the 7800 Plus looks really cool. Plus it comes with like the the NES style controller, which is really neat. And of course you can plug in any controller you want to play the games too, which is cool. I've been eyeing that and the Analog Duo. I think could be really neat for playing some TurboGrafx stuff in HD, because like I said, looking through my TurboGrafx collection as I was packing it, there's a lot of games in there I want to play. So I thought that maybe that could be kind of a cool way to do that. Alright, almost done another layer of games here. We've just hit the H section, everybody. We just finished the G's. We're into H. Heavy Barrel was a lot of fun. Heavy Barrel's a cool game. If you haven't checked that one out. How many we got here? 25. 5 more. Home Alone. We beat that one on stream. We got some Ninja Gaiden playing right now, but for whatever reason, Ninja Gaiden very low in the volume department, so you might not even be able to hear it. Okay. We gotta figure out why Hollywood Squares doesn't want to go in. What does our celebrity guest of the day think of that? Or I guess several celebrity guests of the day. Oh! Whoa! Thank you so much. Let me see here. Miles Luigi, thank you! Gotta re-up the Twitch sub and then heading to bed. Thank you so much, Miles Luigi. I really appreciate that. I was like, Mega Man X, that's not in my NES game folder. Oh, thank you. Really happy that you've been enjoying the NES boxing. Oh my gosh, we're almost halfway. I was gonna laugh there. Yeah, it's taking a bit, so we'll see how long it takes. But thank you, Miles Luigi. Always wonderful to see you in the chat and chat with you, and hope you have a great night. It's cool that Atari is making very rare European controller with the D-pad accessible to Atari fans. You're not a huge Atari guy, but you love the paddle games. Yeah, so yeah, Atari had some interesting games. Obviously, they're a little bit primitive. Back in the day, I accumulated a decent collection of 2600 and some 7800 as well. So. A way to play that on an HD TV, because otherwise every way to play Atari games is like RF, and that's not fun. So I think the 2600 plus and now the 7800 plus look really neat. And I'd been hemming and hawing about the the 2600 plus for a while, and then they just announced the 7800 plus. So it's like, oh, perfect. So now I can grab that. So it paid to kind of wait that one out. Let me see. Oh, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, perfect. This should be enough room. All right. Ah, this is from Palamedes. Had a sequel in Japan, but in North America. It's a cool puzzle game. But Hot B did this thing where like they would put the instructions to their game as the label art. So it's really silly. It doesn't really have a nice label because of that. Shingen the Ruler is another game where they did that with. But yeah, check out Palamedes. Again, you wouldn't know it based on the weird label art, but it's actually a really fun game. Really fun puzzle game. Oh, but because we're done, we gotta put more bubble wrap. Eternal Bliss? No, fair enough. What are some of your favorite 2600 games? Derek Ocean 1985XX. Thanks for stopping by over on the Twitch side. We're packing all the NES games. What are we at? 210 now. 180 plus 30, so we're getting there. Slowly but surely. I feel like we've slowed down a little bit, so I should probably get the pace going again. What time is it? Oh god. We're going to be here for a little bit longer. But we're having fun. Again, hope you're all having fun chatting about NES games. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. quite happy to talk about whatever. As we're packing away here. Not every NES game have an interesting story associated with it. Here's Highlight though. We streamed this one, and like halfway through the game glitched out, but thankfully we had a password so we could continue. And like I could never get, I think it was this cartridge to work again. We had to go to my boxed copy in order to get the game to work. I don't know, so maybe I should try it again. See, make sure it does work still. Hopefully it just needed a break. Did I already put it away? No, I shouldn't have. So have you ever noticed that some companies would kind of make their end labels consistent, which is kind of cool? Konami had a, sorry, not Konami, SNK had a thing where it would be like a gray label, but they'd have these two lines on the side, so you can see Ikari Warriors, Iron Tank. They would sometimes mix it up a little bit, like POW, Prisoners of War, had like a gold label, but it still had those two lines on the end. So I like, consistent labeling like that. I guess Capcom had it where, originally it was all kind of like a navy blue, and then they changed it to like a more of a purple later on. So I think it's cool when companies did things like that. It's kind of like how in Japan, different companies would have their own cartridge design. So I like how they kind of kept that alive with the labels in some sense. Here's a classic, the very last game that we beat all the way back in 2022 was Impossible Mission 2. I believe it was on this cartridge. But there are variants for Impossible Mission 2. You get this really strange cartridge design with like a handle at the top. Very odd. And then you get the non-color label version. Impossible Mission 2, so amazing, so impossible that we gotta have 3 different versions of it. And as far as LJN games go, Incredible Crash Dummies, not a bad one. Released later in the NES's life, so they kind of got their act together by that point, I guess. Music playing right now is from Little Ninja Brothers, which is a fun one. Highly recommended if you've never checked it out. Yeah, so I'm moving, Derek. So that's why we've been packing up the games. Race of the Lost Ark, Smurfs Pitfall 2, Subterranea, yes, Crypts of Chaos, some Great Home Brews. You're in the minority, but you like E.T. I have nothing against E.T. I definitely, anytime I've played it, not, thought, wow, this is like the worst thing ever. But thank you for that. Again, if I get that 7800 plus, we'll definitely stream some Atari, for sure. Here's another one. Danny Sullivan's Indie Heat. But if you look at the label, like the Danny Sullivan's like so tiny at the top. But based on the end label, I should probably put this one under D next time I organize the shelf. Isolated Warrior into the J section now. There's Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu. Hey, it's Godzilla. So here's an interesting thing. This is the music for Planet X, the final planet of Godzilla. In the North American version, it's also the title screen music, but it's an awesome theme, so it really is kind of nice to have it saved for the end. It really kind of gets you pumped up. In the Japanese version, it's like the Godzilla theme that plays on the game's title screen, but I guess it was like copyright and they couldn't use it outside Japan or whatever. So yeah, you get this music as the title screen music in the English version, or the NES version, where really it's actually the theme of like the last level. And I liked Godzilla on the NES. Strange game. Just play as like Mothra as well. Not very hard, because I mean that's kind of the point. Godzilla's supposed to be strong, I guess, right? So it has passwords and stuff, so it's a forgiving game. But cool soundtrack. Check out the Godzilla NES soundtrack. One more. Jaws. Beat that one on stream. Gotta make sure it's in here nice. There we go. Alright. Another row. Yeah, I am excited for the move. You know, it's gonna be different for sure. But you know, I'm excited for a bit of a change. It's been like this for a long time now, and it's been wonderful. You know, being able to share the game room and the stuff in it with all of you for all these years. But you know, it's gonna be different. But I'm optimistic it will be cool as well. What else we got? Yeah. All right, let's keep it going. So Jaws, moving on to 4 different versions of Jeopardy. Now, I, for some reason, put Super Jeopardy with the rest of them the last time I organized the shelf, and I don't really agree with that. In fact, I have not played Super Jeopardy yet. In protest to my 2019 self who put that there. So I'll get to Super Jeopardy someday. But otherwise, it's Jeopardy 25th Anniversary Edition, which is just like Jeopardy with slightly better graphics, and then the Junior Edition. Alright. So Joshua is kind of like the third in the series of Crystal Mines, Exodus, and then Joshua. But it doesn't have any music, and like, I don't know. It wasn't as good as the other two, unfortunately. Journey to Silas. Awesome NES game. There's some music from it in here, but it hasn't come up yet. Now we're listening to Pharaoh Man from Mega Man 4. The Jungle Book, Jurassic Park, a couple of funky games there. Karate Kid, of course, classic AVGN episode, but it's only like 4 levels long, so it's easy enough. Karnov, we beat on stream. Kickle Cubicle. Kickmaster's a lot of fun. I got a song from Kickmaster in there. I don't think it's come up yet. But Kickmaster's a cool game. Kind of feels like a mix of Ninja Gaiden and like Castlevania. So if that sounds good to you. Kid Cool we beat on stream. You have 3 hours to save the king. I think we beat it in like 2.5. So we got him. If they're sports games, just organize them by sport instead of name. That'd be like 40 baseball games altogether. Wait a minute. How? Why did none of you warn me about this? What? How did I do that? How did I do that? F! Way back at the letter F! I somehow missed 2 games. I've been having way too much fun. I blame Galactic Crusaders. I think that's what brought me down to the next row. We missed Friday the 13th, and we missed Funhouse, which is so fun that somebody cracked the bottom of it. Again, it's not the best game, so someone probably figured they'd create their own fun out of it. So those are going to be out of order now, but again, there's going to be lots of reorganizing to do. Oh, look at, I just noticed this. Jackal, when I picked this up from Goodwill way back in the day, someone with like a label maker put like the name Jackal on the end. Remember label makers? You don't really see those anymore. But yeah, that's silly. Did anybody else notice those there? You can see those on stream, right? Yeah, you can. So. I'm depending on you to fix my mistakes here. My whole organization is ruined. Nah, it was ruined already. DW! Yeah, so we're packing up the NES collection for the move. So I've mentioned the move a couple times, but it's always kind of, mixed in with other things, so I know there's some people who still aren't aware. But hopefully the stream kind of gets everyone the info. Yeah, so I'm moving, so I've been packing everything up over the last bit, and today I'm tackling the NES shelf. because of course NES has been kind of such a big part of this channel recently that I thought it would be the perfect thing to kind of, you know, share with you all in regards to the move, and hope you've all been enjoying the kind of just random ramblings while I've been going about it. Been on the Mega Man binge. Just played all the Game Boy ones on Switch Online, Derek. They are wonderful games. Mega Man's always a great series. And the Game Boy ones, glad to see those on Switch Online so they can definitely get the attention they deserve. OKCC, some of your favorite games are Atari games. Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man! Space Invaders, Missile Command, Combat, Phoenix, Unit Attack. Nice! Yeah, again, I'm excited to really kind of dive more into Atari 2600. You know, with the HD consoles, because, you know, AV's one thing, but RF is just like, nobody wants to hook up RF in 2024. What was that blue cartridge? Yeah, so we've got some unlicensed ones mixed in here. This blue cartridge is King Neptune's Adventure. Did I stream this one? I don't think I streamed it, but yeah, it was what you can expect from Color Dreams. We did stream Secret Scout. It kind of had a Secret Scout kind of vibe to it, except it's underwater and you're swimming. But yeah, the unlicensed ones are in here. Like here's 2 more unlicensed games. I think these are variants, because we have the King of Kings yellow label, and we have the King of Kings like blue-black label. Not sure why they changed that, but there you go. And let's not forget the last 2 games this time. We got King's Knight, which no, let's not play that one, and Kings of the Beach, volleyball time. King's Knight, where the final level you have to play as 4 characters at once, and your sprite is like this freaking big on the screen. Ridiculous. Never knew about the blue NES cartridges. Yes, there's a few different ones. We get like the, you know, the Codemasters Chimerica ones, which are like gold and silver. You know, the Tengen ones, which are black, and then the, you know, Bunch Games, Color Dreams, Wisdom Tree ones, which are like blue and black. I like mixing in the third-party ones, or not the third-party ones, the unlicensed ones. I think they look cool all together there. The Super Duper Nintendo Raid! Thank you! Thank you so much! I really appreciate that. What were you playing tonight? The Super Duper Nintendo. Hope you're having a good one. Oh, sorry. Online Eric has rated. Yes. With a party of 30. Thank you. Online Eric. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. Apologize, my kind of being in my own world here, organizing all these Nintendo games. Hope you're having a wonderful night. What were you playing online, Eric? Always great to hear from you. Thank you. We are playing Super Bonk on SNES. Nice! Yeah, so I've played a bit of the Bonk on the TurboGrafx, beat the NES one. I do want to play some more Bonk, though. Hopefully that was good. And yeah, thank you so much for the raid again. The Super Duper Nintendo. Online Eric, yes, welcome. Very welcome. Well, I love the emojis, the Bonk emojis. Nice. But yeah, so I'm moving. So we've been packing over 700 NES games. And so far, we've done about 400 of them. So we're about like another, about 300 of them. So we still have like 400 to go. And next up, we got King's Quest V. I've been sharing some random stories of playing these as we go, because I've beat all of them up to about down here, where we beat like Strider. And so I have about 150 NES games left to go. So I'm doing the unlicensed ones as well. So yeah. Been having some fun with NES, and again, glad to hear you've been having some fun gaming as well. 29. Oh wow, we are closer to the end of that road than I thought. So get that 30th game in there, and that seems wrong, but I'll take my counting's word for it. Stick these ones in here. Hello, Matt 085Z. Welcome. When did we pack it? Yes, so I am moving. And I've already packed like the Super Nintendo collection, TurboGrafx, Famicom, Dreamcast, CDI, and thought I would share the NES shelf with everyone because, yep, the game room's been this way for quite a while. So it's going to be cool to kind of see what I can come up with at the new location, but it's been a lot of work packing. And yeah, we'll see where things go from here. This is kind of just the funny thing I thought I would do because I haven't been streaming as much recently. I've been obviously busy with the move and such, but I thought maybe this is something... I don't know if people are necessarily interested in it, but again, I appreciate the raid, so clearly it must be somewhat intriguing. But yeah, just a silly thing I thought we would do, and here we are after 1 in the morning. Just having fun packing some NES games, and they're going to appreciate that. And I gotta apologize, I gotta run over here to read the chat every time, so please bear with me. 700 games on the NES is crazy. You love it. Thank you, Online Eric. Thank you. Let's see. You have tested out some Atari 2600 on your 70-inch TV in the past. Whoa. That must look interesting. And it's NES, you use the AV cable that works on. Yeah, for sure, Mock KCC. I use like the same cable for the AV, Famicom, SNES, N64, and the GameCube. So it saves you having like 4 cords hooked up to your TV when you can just kind of swap the one that you're using. This is Ninja Gaiden 3 4-1, I believe. Alright, here we go. Laser Invasion. Excellent, excellent. And then you get Last Action Hero, which is the opposite of excellent. Legacy of the Wizard. That was a really fun one. Kind of Metroidvania style. Legend of Kage. Legendary Wings. Go. When am I officially moving? So middle of September. So I still have a few weeks to get everything all done, but it's still going to be quite the process for sure. What's my most prized NES game? So Bonk's Adventure. Well, Bonk's Adventure, Power Blade 2, really, Power Blade 2, because I'm missing Flintstones: Surprise at Dinosaur Peak, Panic Restaurant, Little Samson, and Stadium Events. So I think Power Blade at this point is the one that's the most valuable. In terms of like most prized NES game, I love Star Tropics, but I think it's depending on the angle I want to tackle that question. But yeah, all of them but 4 in terms of the officially licensed ones is what we're at. And again, we've been doing this for a little bit now. I apologize if my voice is starting to go as it always does. That's why I never mind having like a co-host, because I tend to talk too much on my own. If I just kind of go off on every tangent. What have you been playing lately when you have time? Because I've been busy. So a bit of the Nintendo World Championships NES edition. I've been keeping up with the challenges and that. Otherwise, haven't been playing too much. The last things that we streamed were like Star Tropics, and we did a bit of Strider and such. But unfortunately, haven't beaten any NES games in the last bit. But once I'm done the move, we're gonna be playing some Street Fighter 2010, some Super Pitfall, some Star Wars. So that sounds good. Hopefully people will be looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to those games for sure. People don't know about the screws. Alright, let's grab a drink. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Star Tropics Online, Eric. Yes, I just streamed 1 and 2. Star Tropics 1's my all-time favorite game. I absolutely love it. And yeah, they were a lot of fun to play anytime. Let's see here. Okie dokie. So, here's Little Ninja Brothers I was talking about. The sequel to Kung Fu Heroes. and also had a Japanese exclusive sequel in Super Chinese 3. And then on the Super Nintendo, we got Little Ninja Boy, where I guess that would be the 4th one. I'm not sure how that works considering we never got the 3rd one on the NES. But I did enjoy Little Ninja Brothers, and I do have Super Chinese 3, which I hope to play someday. They almost have like an Earthbound vibe with some of the humor. Got low G-Man. Oh, there's Lone Ranger, everyone. One of my favorite NES games. Ooh, we're almost done this box. 2 down. How many more? Two more games for this box. Lunar Pool, the final NES game of box number 2. And there you have it, everyone. Another 180 NES games, taking us up to 360. Packed and ready to go. Heck yeah! Okay, so let's get this box out of here. Oh, another heavy one. Alright, everyone. Box number 3, here we go. Very, very good. So we're about halfway there. Like, what do we got still? Remember, each row is 104 games. So that's still like 300, like 375 still. Which again, another 2 boxes would be about 360. So there might be some that I just eventually throw in with like another box, so we'll probably get 2 more boxes out of it then. But alright. As you can see, I guess I did a surprisingly decent job of getting it all on camera. Like down here you get into like multi-carts and some game genies and stuff at the end. So like, it's like if those ones don't fit in, then I guess that's how it goes. And then you can always go with some other stuff. This song is Area 6 of Blaster Master. Everybody likes Blaster Master Area 1 music. I love 6. 6 is really good. Trying to get the bubble wrap right. Alright, we're starting with Mock Rider, Mad Max, Moffat Conspiracy, Magic Darts. And Magician. Magician is great. If you've never played Magician on the NES, Very kind of, you know, underrated game. Highly recommend that one. Magic of Scheherazade. Kind of has like a Zelda feel to it. I've talked before about how I like the, you know, games that have a Legend of Zelda vibe to them. So that's a cool one to check out. That's an example of one where the Japanese version I think had more content. The world map was bigger. Like, you know, the maps were bigger in the Japanese version. And Casino Kid's another one I meant to mention. Where in Japan, you go to like different casinos. I think it also has roulette, where in our Casino Kid it only has blackjack and poker. Where yeah, the Japanese one has a lot more content in there. It's called like Hyakuman Kid, like Hyakuman Doru Kid, $1 million Kid. So check that out if you like Casino Kid, which I did. I thought Casino Kid was fun. So Mario here. We got the Japanese exclusive Mario and Yoshi, which is just the same as Yoshi, but for some reason overseas, it was called Mario and Yoshi, which I think is a better name because Yoshi is just very plain. And I mean, you play as Mario, so it makes more sense to have his name in the title. We streamed Mario's Time Machine. Mario is missing. And that brings us to the Mega Man games, of which we're listening to Wily's Castle, second theme from Mega Man 4 right now. There's your Mega Man 4, plus 5, plus 6. I want to make sure everything's standing up nice and straight. Okay. Mermaids of Atlantis, not the worst, you know, unlicensed puzzle game from American Video Entertainment. Don't talk about them too much compared to like the Color Dreams and all the other companies. Metal Gear, we of course streamed, and Snake Revenge as well. Snake Revenge was actually great, despite what some people say about it. Metal Mech though, don't go near this one. Metal Mech, not the greatest NES game from Jolico there. It's one where if you game over too many times, you're starting all the way back from the beginning, and has a brutal final level. A brutal final level with controls that are like different from the entire rest of the game, so you have no chance to practice it, and then suddenly you're thrown in this completely different environment, and you're just gonna get wrecked, unfortunately. Where are we here? All right, Metal Storm, classic, Metroid, some Mickey games. Did we play these ones on stream? No, we played the Sesame Street games. But yeah, Mickey had a lot of stuff on the NES. What have we got here? How many is that? One more, so fill it all in. Perfect. All right. Maki CC! Now the NES is my favorite retro console, but what are some of my favorite more modern consoles? Now, this goes back to the debate of what exactly is considered modern, right? Oh, by the way, Might and Magic, if you have not played it, one of the best RPGs on the NES, phenomenal. Definitely check it out. In terms of modern consoles, I really like the Nintendo Switch. Because the Nintendo Switch, after the reason you buy a Wii and a Wii U is really for the first-party games. But the Switch is great because it has the Nintendo first-party titles. But it also has really, really, really fantastic third-party ones as well. So I've played the Switch a lot. So much great stuff on the Switch. And I'm not excited at all for a new Nintendo console because I'm... you know, I just like the Switch. I like the Switch so much and I don't have any interest in... You know, a lot of stuff I play on the Switch, like a lot of the third-party stuff I'm talking about, it's not like the most graphically intensive stuff. It's not anything that would be beneficial, benefit I don't think at all from better hardware. So I'd be quite happy with the Switch just existing forever. And, you know, continuing to buy games for that. Because the Switch is a lot of fun. Otherwise, I haven't really played too many, you know, other modern consoles. And here we go. Now we're moving along. Now we're moving along. The Mutant Virus, everybody! Ooh, even has the paper I wrote up when I beat it. You know me, and I like taking notes. This was my golden ticket. Is it even going to show up? Does it focus at all? You'll never get to know my Mutant Virus secrets for levels 4 and 5. The order that I did the rooms, where to use the different items that you pick up. Really, really, really tedious game. But it was fun to beat. Once. In fact, what happened with Mutant Virus was I got to level 4 out of 5 and I left it on overnight because you get infinite continues, and I came back to it the next day and it just wasn't clicking. So I actually turned it off, as much as I didn't want to have to replay the first 3 levels again. But since I just kind of got used to it, it wasn't too bad. And then the next time I played it, I went back to level 4, and then passed it to level 5, then beat that. Where I thought maybe I'd practice level 5 a bit, and then maybe we'd do a stream of it or something, where I play through the whole thing that I've gotten, you know, some practice in. But I just kind of accidentally beat level 5 without too much practice. But of course I did have to take some notes still, which was kind of the key. And we saw that with Star Force as well. I like taking notes and kind of getting you know, my thoughts collected. And usually that kind of helps me figure out how to win. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The song you're listening to right now is the final battle of Magician, which we were talking about earlier. Great game. Again, go play Magician. Oh, NES Open! NES Open! It would be about 1 year ago. I think it was July last year. You have to get $1 million in this game to beat it. You gotta keep playing through golf tournaments until you accumulate $1 million. So I'm a millionaire, but you know, someone just needs to invent an NES printer, and then we can convert that into real-life funds. Alright, it's another 30 games down. What is that, 360? So another 60 on top of that. We're at 420. There you go. You're excited. You want trophy support, customized UI. Okay, Chikambite. Yes, I think there's definitely room functionality-wise. Like, again, I'm not super worried about graphical capabilities or whatever. But, you know, those are things they could easily just update the Switch with. But assuming they don't do that, if the next Nintendo console had those things, okay, I'd say, fine, that's kind of interesting. But they won't do it. Nintendo just refuses to kind of, you know, get creative in that regard. And that's what I'm saying, it's really the third-party support on the Switch. That's impressed me more than anything. Plus the, you know, the ability to play, like, Mario Party Online is pretty fun. But, you know, that's not even, like, like a real, like, next-gen thing. It's just... You know, they could have done that on the Wii U, but they just chose not to. And same with, you know, trophy support. Like, it's not like a new console's needed for that. And I'd be surprised if we got that functionality, because Nintendo just doesn't seem to be into it at all, but I would support it if it existed. I'm excited to get the new Zelda in September. So that comes out next month. we got the Ace Attorney Investigations collection, and the Ace Attorney Investigations 2 is one of my all-time favorite games. And, you know, I'm excited to play through that again, with, you know, HD and all that. So much is coming out in the next little bit. And obviously I'm gonna be pretty busy, so I might not get to everything right away. But yeah, lots of cool stuff coming out. And yeah, certainly Switch support has not died off though. Despite the fact it seems pretty clear that there is a new Nintendo console coming at some point. Alright, oh! Nigel Mansell's World Championship Racing. I really enjoyed this one. In terms of like all the, you know, third-person NES racers. This one's one of my favorites, so I highly recommend Nigel Mansell. Was it? Yeah. Yeah, excellent game. How do I put this in here? And I mean, I think what really sold it for me is the theme, like the theme music, which I have included in this folder. Is really good. It's like a really long, like 4-minute track. It just gets you into the racing mood. I would laugh if it started playing right now. What is this one? I know what this one is. It's of course, the first area of Power Blade. I love Power Blade. Having a little bit of trouble getting this one lifted. Nigel Mansell does not want to go in the box. There you go. Oh, so here's an example of one. We have, you know, A Nightmare on Elm Street, which at one point I did have ordered under the N's for some reason. But when I played all the NES games, I did play it along with the A games. So that was kind of another decision I went back on eventually. Is PS3 considered more modern or retro? So I consider pretty much any HD console modern. People will disagree with that, which is totally fine, because, you know, retro is kind of subjective in that sense. But for me, my dividing line has always been HD is modern, non-HD is retro, which creates a really weird situation because that would make the Wii retro, or the 360 that came out like a year before it is modern. But I think that looking at it technology-wise instead of age-wise makes some sense. So for me, PS3 would still be kind of in the modern category, but I like PS3 though, I agree. PS3 was a lot of fun. Hi! Kimia Poise. Wait a minute, that's not a viewer. I've been bamboozled. It's going to be a busy couple of months online, Eric. Yes, yes, in terms of games and all that, yes, absolutely. Again, the Switch has had such a phenomenal lineup. And I really worry about... 1 second here. The thing. I think I did that right. Let me see. Oh, there you go. There it is. There you go. So what were we talking about? Yeah! That's the thing, is that Nintendo's like every second console seems to not do so well. And I really like the momentum that Nintendo still has right now, so I would hate for them to release a new console and then just like everything kind of go down the drain, right? So, but yeah, again, still lots of great stuff coming out for the Switch, which I'd like to see. What are we doing here? Ninja Gaiden time! 1, 2, and 3. Ninja Kid, we beat that one on stream. Hey, the song right now, Goonies 2. I love Goonies 2. Alright everybody, another row down. Another row. Ending off with Orb 3D. That's another painful one. The cool thing about Orb 3D is that with the included 3D glasses, it's not like some games like Rad Racer where you press select and it goes red and blue. With Orb 3D, you just put the 3D glasses on and it actually does look 3D. The problem is that I felt sick after like a good few minutes of it because of how focused you have to be on the game. The effect just kind of gets to you. And it's another one where it's very unforgiving. Unforgiving? Maybe not necessarily the word. It's forgiving in the sense that you have like infinite continues. But it gets really tough in the end. It was another one where I left it on all night to come back to it the next day because I played it like way into the night and I had to get up really early the next day to go somewhere. And when I woke up after getting like half an hour of sleep, I came back down to try it again because I was stuck at like the second last level. And I was getting it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually getting it. And I ended up being late for the thing I was supposed to get up early for because I was just like on a roll. I got it. And I wanted to beat the last level before the power went out or something while I was out during the day. Thankfully, it wasn't like a big deal. But yeah, Orb 3D, I still have nightmares about a little bit. Anyone who's played it will probably know. If you haven't played it, then you have no idea. But I do recommend you check it out. It's interesting. Hi there! Let me see here, your name. Static Doom, welcome! Thank you, Static Doom, for checking out the stream. Yeah, I've compiled a folder. This is my personal compilation, not just like a YouTube playlist of all my favorite NES tracks from all the games I've been beating. And yeah, Power Blade. Phenomenal game. Love Power Blade. Let me see. Are you a fan of Pixel Game Squad on YouTube? Seems like you enjoy their content. Yeah, lots of cool retro gaming stuff on YouTube. Thank you for stopping by. Hope that you enjoy the packing and again, all the random music that's going to come up. Like, what are we going to get next? Hey, this is first level of Shadow of the Ninja, which we also played on stream. We did a combo Shadow of the Ninja and Shatterblade stream. Shatterhand stream. They're two pretty crazy games to play in one single stream. So we did it. But again, if you want to see more crazy NES game content, we're playing Street Fighter 2010 coming up, Super Pitfall, Star Wars. Lots that I still hope to play. Superman maybe even? So we'll see. Thank you so much, Static Doom. I really appreciate that. The main song from Demon's Sword, yes. Yeah, Demon's Sword has some good music. PS Triple. FG, your content's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. I really appreciate your kind words. Good morning, Code 404. Is it that? Oh, hope I haven't been packing for that long. We're just after 1:30 a.m. here, but hope you're having a great morning. So what's the first gaming content YouTube creator you got into? And it's obviously a very cliche answer, but it's the truth, so saying anything else would be a lie. It was the AVGN. It really was. A friend introduced me to him when he uploaded his Christmas video. We were having a sleepover during Christmas break from school, and he's like, "Hey, you got to see this guy's videos." And I just like binged them all that night. Which again, the Bible Games was the newest episode at the time, the original Bible Games episode. So that was really kind of the first thing I watched on YouTube. And that would have been back like 2006. And here's Paperboy 2. We played that one on stream. 1 and 2. CJR or Game Chasers, yeah, for sure. We're also huge. You like making playlists of game music and sending it to random yourself? Yeah, for sure. I find what happens is usually I'll find a song that I like, and I'll listen to it like way too many times in a row to the point I get sick of it. But yeah, making a folder of them and then listening to them on like shuffle is always a good idea. Let's get some water here. Alright, we're almost on another row here, everyone. Hey! Here's an iconic song. Excuse me, everyone. So, Pest Terminator Color Dreams game, so obviously the quality's going to be a little bit questionable. What happened in this one is you have to defeat like all of the pests, like the bugs or whatever, in the level. And then you move on to the next one, but the only way to know how many you have left is to pause the game. So I soft-locked myself one time, a bit of the ways into the game by defeating a pest, immediately pausing to see how many I had left to defeat, which was 0. And then when I unpaused, it didn't do like the sequence to take me to the next level. So I'd soft-lock myself and had to replay it all. But yeah, that's what you get from unlicensed games. Not that we haven't had funny moments in licensed ones as well. Strider in particular is a fairly broken game, as you might have seen. Give me a second here. Make sure we got everything lined up nice. And how many is that? $26! 4 more to finish off the bottom layer there. Oh. I'm glad to hear that, Ma KCC. Yeah! Yeah, there's lots of people out there who like retro game collecting, so I definitely don't want to feel alone in that regard. Glad that YouTube was able to help with that. Here's Pictionary with the incredible title screen music from good old Fallen. And just like that, we're done another 90 games. So, again, 360 plus 90. So we're up to 450 now? Wow. Okay. Some bubble wrap on top of those ones. Oh, Cossack. Stage 3 and 4. You also have the same name, Mark. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so another 90 games to finish off this box. We're about 100 away from where I've reached in terms of games that I've beaten. And remember, if you want to see more NES fun, please be sure to stay tuned. We'll get back to those streams once I've concluded the move. Okay. There you go, the final Advanced Dungeons & Dragons game, Pool of Radiance. Although there was a Japanese exclusive one, Dragons of Flame, I believe it was called, which would be cool. There you go, Power Blade 2. The game that, after I picked it up, made me realize, I've never even beat Power Blade 1, so I played that and realized, just how many other incredible NES games have I not beat? And then kind of made me start my journey of playing through all of them, so Power Blade 2 helped in that regard. Among other things, the world being shut down contributed slightly to my ability and motivation to kind of dive into the world of NES. It makes it sound like I've never played NES games before that, but played them all. Alright. Oh, Qbert! Who remembers Qbert? We streamed that one. That was a funny one. There we go. Now here are a couple that I would say I incorrectly ordered on the shelf initially, which is funny because they're both related to Q in a way. Maybe I just wanted there to be more games that start with Q because there aren't really many. But for some reason on the list I used to use back in the day, again, you know, to mark off NES games, John Elway's quarterback was just listed as quarterback. And Kabuki Quantum Fighter was just listed as Quantum Fighter. So when I ordered them on the shelf, that was where I put them. But I think they'll definitely be in the K section once I redo that. And of course you get the Quattro games. Those were fun to play. 4-in-1s. Hey, Star Tropics! There we go. The OG Dungeon Team. So Race America. Yeah, I was thrown off recently when I saw the name of this game written somewhere, and I was like, you know, is that even an NES game that we got? But it just confused me because you don't even think that there's someone's name associated with this. Like, it looks like it just says Race America. But above the title, it actually says, like, Alex DeMayo's Race America in, like, size 1 font. Which you're never going to see. So I completely forgot that was even there. And obviously, I'm not going to list it under that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. And the last one for this row is Rad Gravity. I really liked Rad Gravity. Has like a Metroidvania vibe to it, where you're traveling to different planets and things that you unlock on one planet help you make more progress on the others. So definitely check out Rad Gravity if you haven't. There's lots of secrets to find. Health upgrades and such, which definitely gives it kind of a, you know, E-Tank vibe. Oh, this is Sky Shark. Sky Shark level 4, I think. Soundtrack has a very, what's it called? Silver Surfer vibe. He has the same guy. They're both shmups. I like Sky Shark. We beat Rambo on stream together. Rally Bike's a fun one. Rainbow Islands I'm like so on. There's things about Rainbow Islands that I like, but it's funny because it's like Rainbow Islands is kind of like the sequel to Bubble Bobble, and I'm also very so on Bubble Bobble. RBI Baseball. You have to win like 7 games of baseball in a row. That was tough. We played RC Pro-Am together. Another tough one. Ren and Stimpy, not so great. So, if Miles Luigi, if you see this later, here is the worst it's really bad, but like one of the worst naming inconsistencies on the NES. You have the 2 Chippendale Rescue Ranger games. The original one, you can see on the front, it clearly says Chippendale Rescue Rangers. The top only says Rescue Rangers, while the second one actually says Chippendale Rescue Rangers 2 on top. So what do you do? How do you properly order these on the shelf? I think they ended up in the R section because naturally I had the first one first and the second one's much more rare. So then later on, like, the second one got added to where the first one was. But like, I don't even know because just... like, it looks so bad to have Rescue Rangers up in the C section, so... I don't know. How they screwed that one up. but it's definitely one of the worst kind of naming inconsistencies on the console. I hate it. David Ray, together in the C section, that's probably what's going to happen. Yes, I agree with that. But just that first one, oh, it bugs me. It bugs me because it doesn't look like it belongs. DW, you're right about Rescue Rangers. You've never noticed that. Oh, isn't it bad? Isn't it bad? I'm so sorry to have shared that with all of you. it's terrible. Just terrible. Yeah, this is Mick Kids, which is not as bad as you might think it is. Yes, it has like some Mario 3 inspiration, but it's fun in its own right. Here's another Funkoland kind of cardboard sleeve. Inside we got Roadrunner, which Funkoland $4.99. The other one was orange, so it's cool to have a green one as well. What else we got going on? Robin Hood, along with 3 RoboCop games. We played RoboCop 2 on stream. Thank goodness it had Infinite Continues. But, you know, it's an Ocean game. Ocean makes some pretty unforgiving games. A lot of them have points where you just have to guess, and if you guess wrong, you die. Adam's Family has a room with 4 doors. One of them leads to an instant pit of death spikes. Later on, there's also another case where there's 4 ropes, and you pull one of them and you die. Cool World had one point when there's 3 doors. One of them is the right door that you have to go in to get enough items to beat the level, where the other 2 are death. Darkman has elevators that can lead to death. So, you know, Ocean I have a very love-hate relationship with, but, you know, again, at least RoboCop 2 had Infinite Continues, where none of those other games I mentioned did. So it would have been a lot worse if it didn't. But okay. Robo Warrior. If you like Bomberman, you may or may not like Robo Warrior. It's like Bomberman, but extreme. Also made by Hudson Soft, though. Even though it's Jaleco and the NES, it's weird. Oh, good. We're done that row. 30 more games to finish the row off. We streamed Rockin' Cats. Not a bad game. Rocketeer. Rocky and Bullwinkle was not great. What have we got going on here? TheGreenLightningMRT! Animatronics guy, hello! Thanks for stopping by the NES stream. We're almost there! We are almost done packing. About 200 more games to go. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, we got more Kirby going on! Thanks to Funkoland today, you're a retro gamer having to go there. Because Best Buy was discontinuing selling Dreamcast games. And a clerk told my dad to check out a place called Funkoland. Wow! Like a kid in a candy store going in there with your different retro games and consoles and etc. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. You know, to find out about a new store that way. Wow, yeah, Best Buy discontinuing Dreamcast games. There you go. The first place I ever saw a Dreamcast and never played the Dreamcast was Costco, of all places. They had a demo unit set up. And I played Sonic Adventure and thought it was awesome. But I didn't end up getting a Dreamcast until many years later. Here you go! Roger Clemens MVP Baseball. But you have one with a white label and one with a black label. The white one's much more uncommon. I don't think it's like incredibly rare or anything. But like I said, some games have label variants on here. Not like a lot of them, but just for fun, I kept those together. I don't think the games are different at all. Now here's a few games that we played. there was one stream where we beat Roller Games, Rollerblade Racer, and we beat like the first half of Rolling Thunder. We had to come back and beat the rest of it another time. That was a good one. And then sandwiched amongst all of that is Rollerball, one of the best pinball games on the NES. Highly recommend it. So Roller Games, Rollerball, Rollerblade. So that should actually be here. There you go. Lots of NES games that start with rolling. Where's Battle Boy, says Jack James. Battle Boy? Battle Boy? You mean Battle Kid? Like Battle Kid 2? There's Battle Kid 1. Battle Kid 2. Excellent, excellent, excellent homebrew games, especially the second one. I think we have a couple of tracks from it actually in the playlist, should they ever come up. But very highly recommend you check out those homebrew games. They are excellent. Let's see here. First saw a demo unit of the Dreamcast in 3rd grade in 2000. Didn't get it until 5th grade. Okie dokie. Hey, Russian Attack. That's when we beat on stream. It took way too long because the boss of level 5 was just brutal. But once we finally got past that, it was okay. SCAT, everyone's favorite NES game name. Despite the fact it's anything but that. Phenomenal shoot 'em up. And then when we streamed that, we followed up by playing Secret Scout, which was less than inspiring. But I have a lot of music from SCAT in this folder, and I don't think one song has come up yet. Awesome soundtrack. Section Z, we beat that one on stream. And then we beat all of the Sesame Street games on stream, because why not? Sesame Street Countdown definitely being the best one, as it was kind of a platformer. Shadowgate, we also beat on stream. One of the 3 Kemco text adventures that we got. And we also beat Shadow of the Ninja and Shatterhand on stream. So we beat a lot of games in that chunk on stream right there. Battle Kid, yeah, Jack James. I can tell you recently got the original 3 TMNT games on Blu-ray. The original 3 TMNT games on Blu-ray? Like you got the NES games on Blu-ray, like on the Cowabunga collection? That's a really cool collection. Oh, this is Platoon. Already packed that one. First level of Platoon. I believe. Yeah, it should be. Oh, movies, Ma KCC. Yes, that makes more sense. I've seen the original, The Secret of the Ooze, the second one. I've never seen Turtles, the Turtles in Time one. And I think they go to ancient Japan, right? I've never actually seen that one. Despite the fact, embarrassingly enough, I have the VHS around somewhere. I just have to hook up a VHS player to watch it. I always meant to get to it. Okay, so another row down. So we started up here. There was like a part row here, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Over 500 games already boxed, and we can fit maybe like another couple into this box, and then we're done. Another box of 180 NES games. So we're getting to the final stretch here. Let me just count this. Three more. What will be the final game of this box? Gotta come all the way over here. And look what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Silver Surfer, everybody! The supposedly most difficult NES game that we beat in like 2 minutes. Maybe a little bit longer, but compared to, you know, Sky Kid or Star Force, Silver Surfer was nothing. And you know what the difference is? Is that in Silver Surfer, you get a multi-shot, which is a huge thing to be given in a shmup. Like it can't be overstated. Just how much of a difference it makes when you can shoot multiple directions, or you know, like a big kind of area at once. Where Sky Kid, there's no power up in that game, and then Star Force, the only power up is really in regards to the movement, not the shot. So that's why Silver Surfer was not as difficult as those other shmups. Where when we got to Star Soldier, the sequel to Star Force, it did have like more of a spread shot, so it was tough, but not as bad. And then you get to Starship Hector, the sequel to that, and it was not too bad, but you never really get like a good shot in that either. Okay, what do we got here? What's it gonna be next? Oh, it's Jackal! It's good to see I've put enough music in this folder that we're not getting any repeats. It's a great folder to have too, because I can use it in like other situations too. Alright, this is going to be a little bit of a trickier one because they're both in these plastic cases. What do we got? Tealgamemaster animatronics guy. You're starting a video game collection because you're done messing with one of the toy robot. Ah, so yeah, unfortunately had a toy robot break. I mean, that's cool though. Toy robots sound neat. But I can understand them being, on the delicate side. Maybe we'll do this. We'll take this guy out. Silkworm also very good. I don't have too much trouble with Silkworm. So Silkworm is really cool because you can play as either a helicopter or a jeep, and it's a side-scrolling shmup. And naturally you'd think the helicopter would be better because you can fly, but I actually found that the Jeep, I enjoyed the Jeep much more. You stay kind of closer to the ground where a lot of things don't hit you on the ground. And I kind of cruise through most of the levels until you get to the end where it's a little bit difficult. But otherwise, I didn't think Silkworm was too bad of a game. But your instinct would tell you to use the helicopter, when really, try the Jeep if you ever play it. See what you think. What am I doing here? So. Just give me a second here. Silver Surfer's being stubborn. Beating Silver Surfer was the easy part. Putting it into a box, surprisingly much more difficult. Alright everyone, 3 down. 3 boxes down. Okie dokie. Let's put a little bit more bubble wrap on that. On top here. Oh, monster in my pocket. Alright. That's a 3rd box of NES games, everyone. Alright. Alright, but will probably be the final box of the night. We'll hold another 180 games. Like that's this row. I guess what I could have been doing is I could have been putting like a couple... I mean, I haven't closed up any of the boxes yet, which is actually a really good point. And the order doesn't really matter, because obviously there's going to need to be some reorganizing when I get to the new place anyway. So yeah, I might just distribute whatever's left into the remaining boxes maybe. But yeah, 180 more. So that's 100. It's probably going to take us like right up to here almost. Which is perfect because, again, we got like some unlicensed multi-carts and stuff, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Again, to everyone who's still sticking around tonight, and of course everyone who watches later after the fact as well. Appreciate everyone who checks out the VODs, which I always keep up. And if it's so, not just the Twitch side, we're on YouTube as well. And that will stay up there forever, so definitely go, don't be afraid to check out the YouTube channel. And subscribe there if you like, and of course watch past streams on that side. But what are we at here? We're just after 2 in the morning, and I think we started around 11:15, 11:30, so I've been going for about 2.5 hours. Not too bad. Oh, what do we got here? RoboCop. Final level of RoboCop 2. Wow, remember these guys? The Simpsons games. We've beaten all 3 of these on stream. They're fun, but I still love the Space Mutants the most. Daniel, Robert Cop, yes. Like lots of movies and VHS tapes. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of great movies and movies out there that would have been released on VHS and DVD. And it never hurts to have physical media because you never know, if that streaming service might not pick it up. They might edit it in who knows what way. So I can appreciate that hobby. Here it is, everyone. Sky Kid. Hilarious. Oh, Slalom as well. It was a funny one. Smash TV. Oh, who remembers Snake, Rattle, and Roll? When I should have just gone to bed and played it the next day. But sometimes I don't make the best decision. Snake's Revenge, of course. That was a fun one. People like to point to the fact that Kojima didn't like it without actually trying it themselves. It's not a horrible game. Like, I'm not in. I need to play more of the Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid games. But obviously, as someone who just played the NES one, it's a fine follow up to that. But I can understand it maybe not fitting in, to where the series has gone since. Here's an unofficial cover for an American video entertainment game, Solitaire. We had Blackjack earlier. And now Solitaire on an NES cart. Of course, Blackjack you can play in other games, like Caesar's Palace or Casino Kid. But Solitaire is interesting, because I don't think there's any other NES game where you can really play Solitaire. Not including like Maxi 15, which has Solitaire on it as well. Oh, we got Solar Jetman. That was a fun one. Solar Jetman's a cool game. Spelunker! We beat that on stream. Spider-Man, not good. Don't play Spider-Man. Hey, Spiritual Warfare! We literally killed the devil. That was a fun one. Where'd the music go? Ah, that's what we're looking for. Dave's theme from Maniac Mansion. Maniac Mansion's such a cool game. Not on the shelf here, because I only have a box copy of it. And Limited Run Games did a re-release of it a little while back, and it came with like the same poster that the NES boxed one did, and it has like... not, I don't want to say hints because it makes it sound like it's just giving you outright hints. But the poster has like, you know, different things on it, which kind of allude to solutions and stuff, the puzzles in the game, which is really cool. Maniac Mansion for NES is not a game I ever really played or had any experience with or knowledge about, but it really impressed me when I played it. Definitely gets an A if this was a ranking video. Play Maniac Mansion. Snake Rattle and Roll, Daniel, yes! You own few DVDs. Yeah, it never hurts to buy them on, you know, your favorite movies on DVD, just in case. We had a discussion in another stream once about if there's VHS players that have like an HDMI hookup, because that would be cool. Like, otherwise you're getting into, I mean, AV, I guess. There's a lot of VHS players that have AV. It'd be so convenient if there was more HD VHS players, I guess. Alright, what else we got? Swoon! Swoon, everyone. That was a fun shoot 'em up. Stack Up. I did a Patreon YouTube member thing where I checked out Stack Up. Because way back, we did a stream where we beat Gyromite. And I actually had Rob on the camera so you could see him picking up the stuff. And like, we beat it legit on stream, which was cool. So I did a kind of a thing where we played Stack Up too, if you want to see that. Because I was going to stream it, but there wasn't much to it. There's not too much to Stack Up. Oh, Stanley. Stanley's a cool NES game. Check it out if you ever get the chance. Alright, let's just make sure everything's in here nicely. How many is that? One more! Oh! Oh! Our old friend! Our old friend, Star Force. 26 levels of pain! With no continues! Good times. Finally! Final level of SCAT. Do you have Super Mario Bros. NES and 2 and 3? I do indeed. They are currently right here. Also, something interesting is I have the Hong Kong version, which comes in like a white cartridge. In fact, I have some other Hong Kong too. Or they come in more of a white NES cart compared to the gray. Oh, and also, which the one we lifted up was also just PAL. But here's what the PAL copy of Mario 1 looks like. Has the Japanese kind of art on the front of it, instead of the kind of pixel design that you know, ours went with. Where does this go? Hello, Greg Jarvis. Where are we moving to? Moving a few hours away, getting out of the big city, which is kind of just becoming too crazy. Moving somewhere a little quieter, which should be nice. Those white carts are sick, Jack James. Yes, they're really neat. Again, like, why Hong Kong got different colored cartridges, I have no idea. But they are really, really neat, I agree. Yeah, glad I could introduce those to you. All right, where were we here? Yeah, so Star Force, followed by Star Soldier. The Star Trek game, Starship Hector. Okay, so, you know, we talked about Rescue Rangers, but I think Rescue Rangers is even worse because, you know, they were both called Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, where you get Star Tropics, of course, my favorite NES game. And then Star Tropics 2, says Zoda's Revenge on the end, but technically it's a little more acceptable because Star Tropics 2 was changed to the subtitle. So I guess that's why they put Zoda's Revenge on top instead of Star Tropics 2. I don't know why they made it the subtitle. Theory is that, you know, it released like 4 years after the original. Maybe they thought many people wouldn't remember the original Star Tropics, so they figured, you know, give it a different name and people will buy it, whether they've played the original or not. But it causes a lot of issues when trying to arrange them on the shelf. But I love Star Tropics so much that I can't separate them, even though it looks really wrong. Ugh. One of those situations where I feel like you can't really win. But what else we got? So we're at the point now where this is how many NES games I've beaten. That's a really cool visual, actually. You know, there's a few here, like, again, take out Stealth, take out Stinger, take out Strider, and obviously, you know, take out, like, the Marios. But just generally speaking, this is how many NES games I've beat out of how many I still have left to play. That's actually really cool. Like, I like that visual. That's really nice. Again, I started in November of 2021. I'd already beaten maybe, you know, 50-ish NES games at that point. But I made it my journey, my adventure to try and beat all 750 or so NES games that I owned, including unlicensed ones. And up to now, August 2024, that's where we're at. And again, once the move is over and such, we're going to be playing Street Fighter 2010, Super Pitfall, lots of cool stuff. So I hope you'll stay tuned and enjoy that. Did you know Mario also in Duck Hunt and Track Meet Fire Mario, White Hat or Red Hat? Yes! Yes, so there are 2 versions. I think it's the difference of, like, there's the Canadian version. Wait, which one's this one? This one's the US version, where Mario has the red hat with the white shirt. But there's also a version of the label where he has the white hat with the red shirt. Which is just weird. But yeah, I love label variants like that. Little quirky things. And I do have the other one somewhere. It might actually be in with the power set. But yeah, it's cool. Let me just grab here. Okay, so where were we? Working on that. So yeah, we're in kind of uncharted territory now. I don't have too much to say about a lot of these games, because unlike all the rest of them, I haven't really beat these ones. So again, they'll be the odd ones like the Marios that I have. But I certainly can't speak to all of them in the way I can the previous ones. So maybe that means this will go a little bit quicker then, as I'm not going on a tangent every 3 seconds. I'll probably still come up with some silly things to say. Yeah, here we are at the Mario games, which we did do a stream a little while back where I played Mario 1, 2, and 3 all the way through in a single sitting, which is something I'd never done before. There's a lot of Mario. Okay. There we are into the Mario zone. Yeah, it's just a big chunk of Mario games right there, because like you mentioned, you know, you get the Mario Duck Hunt, the Mario Duck Hunt Track Meet. There's Super Pitfall, Super Spike V-Ball, the multi-cart that came with the sports set, which has Super Spike V-Ball plus Nintendo World Cup Soccer on it. How many is that? Alright. And here's, of course, Super Pitfall. Which, again, is it as bad as, like, the AVGN made it sound? Or is that another one where he exaggerated a bit? I'm excited to play that one. Alright. Moving on. What is this one? Super Sprints. Cool. Super Spy Hunter. Spy Hunter Original's not too bad. Not too familiar with the sequel. Super Team Games. Swamp Thing and Swordmaster look cool. Of course, we're listening to some Gemini Man music right now from Mega Man 3. I'm surprised. I have quite a few Mega Man tracks in there. I don't think we've listened to too many. We've heard like Wily 1. Actually, we have heard a lot. You know, Wily 1 from Mega Man 2. Wily from Mega Man 4. Wily from Mega Man 5. Cossack from Mega Man 4. Flashman from Mega Man 2. And I take that back. What else we got? Swords and Serpents looks cool. There's definitely, like, is it an RPG? There's also Times of Lore, which doesn't look too bad. A few of these I have, like, you know, the maps for, so I haven't really examined them in any detail, because I don't want to do that, but, you know, I wonder how big of games they'll be. Here's Tag and Dragon from Bunch Games. I'm sure that will be a prize winner there. Oh, it's Battle Kid 2. There we go. He was talking about that guy. So it's really unfortunate that it doesn't look like there'll probably ever be a Battle Kid 3. Of course, Sivek moved to Japan, and he's living and working in Japan now. Don't got no time for no NES homebrew games. Of course, the sad part is that the second game ends on a cliffhanger. So it implies there would be a third one someday. But ignore that. They're fun games otherwise, regardless. But I get where he's coming from. As someone who never finished Super Mario Omega 2, I can't judge. Jack James, one of the best games ever. Battle Kid 2, phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Very, very good NES homebrew game. And like, an OG too. Like, what was Battle Kid 1? Was like 2010? 2009, 2010? And Battle Kid 2 was around 2012, I think? And so considering, you know, how early they were really in the NES homebrew scene, they were just really, really, really good games. Alright, where are we? Hey, it's TMNT time! So I've beaten the first 3, but I've never really played much tournament fighters. Isn't it more like a fighting game, probably, right? Instead of a beat 'em up? So we'll see about that. Alright, we're getting to the end of this row. We got tennis! Ooh, I've heard bad things about the Terminator. It's a Mindscape game. Mindscape made some pretty bad movie games. They did Dirty Harry, they did Mad Max. I've seen some Terminator. It doesn't look so good. Who made Terminator 2? Ooh, Terminator 2 LJN. Even better. Oh, Star Tropics 2. Homemade spaghetti sauce. There you go. Turned out amazing. Very nice, Make CC. Very, very nice. Here's the Tengen version of Tetris, along with Tetris 1 and 2. Ooh. What's it going to be next? This is Darkwing Duck, the forest stage, I believe. again, when it comes to kind of, you know, Mega Man likes, I prefer Bucky O'Hare to Darkwing Duck, which is funny because, you know, Darkwing Duck is the same company as, you know, it's Capcom who made Mega Man, and I think you know, Capcom did more right in that regard. Darkwing Duck had like a weird thing, I think, where it was like when you press down, he guards, but then you lose like all control, and that messed me up a lot. So maybe it was just it was probably a skill issue more than anything. But I encourage you to you know, yourself try, you know, Darkwing Duck and Bucky O'Hare and see which one you like more. Not that it really matters. Doesn't have to be a competition. They can both be fun. Alright, we need 2 more, so we got 2 more here. And it's going right into the corner. And whenever one with a plastic case goes right into the corner, it's always a pain. And it seems to be happening a lot recently, so. Again, thank you everyone tonight who's been, you know, watching and enjoying the stream. Hope it's just something fun to relax to. We're getting to near the end here. This one thing is being kind of stubborn. That should do the trick. Alright, so another 90 games. What is that? 3 boxes, 180, 360, 540 plus 90 is 630. So after another 90, we're at 720. Wow. So here we go. Again, remember, one row is 104 games. And we have one row plus a little. So we're going to be like right there by the time we're done this one. So I'm going to stop dancing here. And I'm going to grab some more games. Thunder and Lightning looks like an interesting puzzle game. Don't know much about that one yet. Thunderbirds. Again, I'm excited to kind of... You know, there's lots of NES games coming up still I'm excited about. But, before we did that, I've forgotten about a little more bubble wrap here. So we got more Ninja Gaiden music, except it's very quiet for some reason. He's the quiet Ninja Gaiden, as he's preparing a sneak attack. Jack James, yeah! Packing it up DK oldie style? Oh no. Oh no. So what should I throw in as the free gift? You bought $3 million worth of games. For a free gift, I'm throwing in an eraser. Enjoy your package. There you go. Here's another one of those ones where someone used the old label maker to put the name on the end there. Alright, that's another row down. There we go. So yeah, the Tiny Toons games, I really don't know much about them. People love Tiny Toons. I didn't really grow up much with Tiny Toons. Never really watched them. But yeah, Konami made 2 NES Tiny Toons games, so those should be fun to check out when we get there. They also made the Cartoon Workshop, the Tiny Toons Cartoon Workshop. And it's just kind of like a thing where you can make some animations. I don't really think there's much to beat in that regard, but interesting nonetheless. But where's Waldo and Jeopardy? Where's Waldo and Jeopardy? We did the Jeopardy games already. We streamed Waldo. We streamed Waldo and its much better sequel. But yeah, we got to the moon in Waldo. We did it. I think we did it on medium mode, so I mean that's fair. But not hard mode. I don't know if we'll ever do that. Can you even see what I'm doing down here still? I did a good job, I guess, getting it all on camera. Surprisingly enough, Tombs and Treasure. This is one I have beat, even though it's kind of past that point. Phenomenal game. Definitely play Tombs and Treasure. Here's Top Gun 1 and 2. Hey, it's Castlevania 2. This is a very mellow song, considering the many of the other ones I've included in this pack. I love the more upbeat, you know, go get 'em NES tracks. But one like this is nice every once in a while too. You have a Nintendo Entertainment System, so you'll get your NES games from Dad's storage units. Well, I wish you all the best in getting your NES collection together. Grew up watching reruns of Tiny Toons Adventures. I think I've seen like a Tiny Toons movie before. They go to like an amusement park for like summer vacation. But yeah, I never really watched the show much. Growing up, I just watched, sorry, we're talking about Looney Tunes or Tiny Toons? Yeah, see, I watched a lot of Looney Tunes growing up. You know, like the OG. The stuff they won't show anymore is everyone's putting guns at people's faces and blowing them up with TNT and dropping anvils and all that. I grew up on that. So yeah, Tiny Toons I never watched much of. Treasure Master is going to be coming up soon. See if we can win that prize. Alright, one more to finish off the row. We're into the Ultima games, of which I have not played any. And there's 3 of them, so that should be interesting. Watch Looney Tunes as well, nice. You go to hard off and save a lot of money? Yeah, so I mean, you know, hard offs and book offs and such. You know, you can find some deals at those. Oh, we got the last level of Shatterhand. Yeah, so there's deals to be found in Japan still. The question you have to ask yourself, though, as someone who really wants to take a trip back to Japan again sometime soon, is like, I mean, it's probably better for people in the US. Don't forget I'm in Canada, and we have our Canadian funny money up here, and the exchange rate's all weird. But like, the cost for me to fly to Japan, by the time I did that, you know, accommodation and all that, the money I would save from like the hard offs and such, I should probably just buy them online. But I still do want to go back someday and travel around. So obviously while I'm doing that, I'll take the opportunity to buy some more retro games. But prices are going up, unfortunately, on the Famicom stuff. Not like Famicom's... I feel like there's a lot of people who focus like on, you know, Super Nintendo and beyond, Super Famicom and beyond, but still the Famicom prices are going up a bit. But still, because it seems like Super Nintendo and beyond is more popular, N64 and all that, you can still find some deals on the Famicom. Unfortunately, not the amount that you could find a few years ago, though. Alright, here is Ultimate League Soccer. Part of the Kick-Ass Sports Series, everyone. That's what we're looking for. Oh, so there's Uninvited. Untouchables. Untouchables, another one of those weird games that has like a black label variant and a blue label variant. Same game, just with two different labels for some reason. 1 second. All right. Getting down there. It's an Urban Champion. I mean, you only have to like beat up 3 guys to consider it this game beaten. So I've played it before, but interesting one. Mega Stream, Venice Beach Volleyball. I've beat Vice before. Oh, so maybe I was getting that Tiny Toons. I think I might have been getting it confused with Videomation? No, maybe not. This is another game I think where you can kind of create like your own animations. So exactly what there is to do in that game to consider it beaten, I'm not sure. But I guess I'll be checking it out. Wacky Races. What song is it going to be? I know what song this is. Oh, it's Castlevania 3, Famicom. KC, see, there's tons of people in the Discord server right now talking about watching, you know, liking Power Rangers. So it's certainly not something I would give anyone crap for. Oh, it's Wayne's World, everybody. I know Wayne's World's supposed to be a pretty notorious NES game. I've seen the movie. I don't know how you really turn that into an NES game. Here's 3 versions of Wheel of Fortune. And I even have, just for this occasion, I've been waiting to add in the 4th version of Wheel of Fortune along with them. The Vanna White edition. So it can go in there as well with all the rest of those. Again, 4 versions of Jeopardy and 4 Wheel of Fortunes on the NES. More game shows than you could ever want. Alright. '26, so where in time is Carmen Sandiego? That's gonna be a really interesting one. So where in time is Carmen Sandiego? It's a Konami game, so I mean, you know, they don't usually do you dirty. It comes in a massive box. And inside this box you naturally get the game, the manual, and the literal freaking encyclopedia. Like, the whole thing. Like, a video game on the NES that comes with a 1,300 page encyclopedia. And it's the real deal too, because it even says like Konami at the back. So if you ever at your thrift store and you see this encyclopedia, it actually belongs with the video game. That's awesome. I think that's so freaking cool. But here we go. Put that back in there. Carefully put everything else back. Hey, it's some Zelda 1 music. Put the lid back on. See, I mean, it must be a pretty cool game if it comes with a freaking encyclopedia. I love that. There we go. Whoever said that video games don't teach you anything? And there's you know, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I haven't played that one yet, but I know that one's supposed to be pretty notorious. Is that really right? Doesn't seem right. That's weird. So here's the one redeeming part of Contra Force. The first level music is awesome. Otherwise, there's no reason to play Contra Force instead of the first two. Look at that, everyone, though. The final stretch. I can fit 27 more games into this row. And that's it. And then the rest have to like go on top or whatever. So, oh, yeah. Here's a not so fun NES organizational moment. You get Wizards and Warriors 1. You get Iron Sword, Wizards and Warriors 2. And then you get Wizards and Warriors 3. And if you look at the tops, the second one just says Iron Sword. It doesn't say anything about Wizards and Warriors. So this is definitely up there with the Chippendale. What do you do? Like, you don't want to separate the second Wizards and Warriors game. Now, if there was no third one, you know, I think an argument could be made for it should be under the eyes, because it's just like Golgo 13, Moffat Conspiracy. We separate those. But it's also kind of a Zoda's Revenge, I guess, situation, where for some reason the title of the first game becomes the subtitle, so it's not really included in the end label. But this is, again, up there with Chippendale and Zoda's Revenge as one of the most annoying NES organizational complexities that you will encounter on your NES collecting adventure, should you dare to start such a thing. Hey, it's World Class Track Meet, the version of stadium events that costs like 0.0001% of the price. We are almost there. At the Wrecking Crew. Worm, Journey to the Center of the Earth. I think that one looks pretty cool. Excited to try that one. I've heard good things about XEXYZ. Zixies. Something like that. From Hudson Soft. Hey! Dragon Fighter Stage 1! There you go. It's Yoshi! We can fit just a couple more games in here. two more. Two more. The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles will be the last game to fit, like, properly into the box. There you go. So we played both of the Last Crusade games on stream. I don't know anything about the Young Indie games, so that should be cool. The kind of experience. Let's get this guy in here properly. How is that even possible? That's weird. It feels like one row has more games, but when you count, it doesn't. But that's it! That's it! That is 4 boxes of 180 NES games each. Taking us up to a total of 720. There you go. With a few to spare. So those will probably just end up going in the top here. So let's do that. Looks like I made the right amount of, you know, bubble wrap inserts here. This is where it all ends. Zombie Nation, the last alphabetical NES game. And here is The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda, which of course had the gold versions. But there was gray card versions as well. And you know, I feel like the gold version is actually the more common one. Where you don't see the gray ones as much. But maybe that's just me. There might be people who disagree with that. And think that, you know, say that they've seen the other ones more, which is fair enough. Here is a Korean copy of Solomon's Keep. And the interesting thing about the Korean games is how the label on the back wraps around to like here. Very strange cartridge design, but otherwise it's just the Japanese version. Got some Sparkman from Mega Man 3 going on. Here is the EverDrive, Nate, gifted to me by Miles Luigi. Very nifty thing to have. He loaded it up with like Frank's, you know, Super Mario Brothers 2 and some funny things of that nature. And then some multi-carts. I've always enjoyed collecting the multi-carts, like 31 in 1, 76 in 1, 110 in 1. Let's see how high we can go. Another 110 in 1. But this one's really cool because it actually has like a proper end label. And actually lists all the games on the front there, which is really nice. 190 in 1. Super 190 in 1. We looked at some of these on stream. We looked at the 190 in 1. We also looked at the Arbian Knights. 1101, I think it was. We've got Golden 250. 350 in 1. And this is like a weird one, where I think you get to look at the back. And it's 370 in 1. So yeah, multi-carts are just a lot of fun. What do we got going on here? Very cool, thank you. And then, last but not least on the shelf, is Game Genies, and different versions of Game Genie at that. We have my OG Golden Game Genie. We've got the Game Genie with the gold label and the black plastic. We've got the Game Genie with the black plastic and the purple label. And the final thing on the shelf is the NES cartridge cleaner. That's it. The final thing. Wow. There it is, everyone. The completely empty NES shelf. Where just like 3 hours ago it was full. And now it's all in boxes. And we're finishing off with some Flying Warriors fight music. Wow. So again, more than 4 boxes it took. Fortunately, we had a few things kind of on top. I haven't sealed any of them yet, so I'll probably like evenly distribute them all between the boxes, and then that will be that. I hope that you enjoyed that. You know, this is a site I've always enjoyed. Sitting on my couch here, playing NES games on my TV, looking over at the NES games that I've beaten and the ones that are still to come. So it's definitely sad to see it disassembled in this way, but we had a lot of fun, I think, sharing some NES memories along the way, and you know, I'm sure the new setup will be good as well. Different. It will definitely be different, so don't expect you know, my new room to look exactly like this one, and some changes will probably be made. Even these shelves as well. Again, these being like video rental shelves from back in the day. They're very nice shelves, but I think I'm probably going to go with something a bit different for my new location. So I'm not sure what will become of these. Obviously, they're a little bit on the bigger side and kind of clunky, but they got the job done for sure. But ultimately, they'll probably end up parting ways with these guys. And again, moving on to something new, which will hopefully get the job done even better. But thanks, everyone, for all your support as I sorted all of those NES games. Wow. Wow. I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, I'm just kind of stunned. I don't know what to say at the end of this because, you know, I'm kind of just amazed that we're even done. I didn't know how long it would take. Again, looks like we did about, yeah, so could have been a little bit longer, but ultimately not too bad. All this cardboard stuff still here where the games are kind of being stuck, but yeah, I think that's where we're going to wrap up, everyone. Thank you so much for your understanding while I'm in the process of moving. Sorry there haven't been as many streams. Definitely check out the Discord server in the description because I respond to that more frequently than like anything else. It's easy for me to just kind of jump in there and see what everyone's talking about and share my thoughts, and you can get in touch with me. Otherwise, leave comments and all that too. And to everyone who's subscribed and you know, following, thank you as always. And to everyone who just found me through this, hope you enjoyed the NES content to come in the future along with all the other video game stuff. I'll see you around. Take care, and bye for now. Now I did this really awkward thing where I go over here and end the stream.